The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, it's like Indiana Jones. It's like an Indiana Jones ripoff that was ripped off by Tomb Raider that's now ripped off by a man again. So we took treasure hunting back, guys. We took it back from the women. Can't tell me you weren't thinking it, Craig.
Shall we play a game? You got several things to do. You got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that values men overall. I am your host, Caleb Schweiss.
Caleb Craig.
And Cameron.
So, yeah, I was thinking that as I was playing it. I was like, man, this kind of feels like a Tomb Raider ripoff.
No, that's exactly what I was
like,
thinking, but...
You know what? Tomb Raider's kind of a ripoff of Indiana Jones.
Well...
So, like, it's just Indiana Jones, just...
They're completely different.
Yeah.
Well, they have the same concept.
Okay, they are completely different.
Really.
As in,
Well-
video games can depict something that movies can't.
Yeah, I don't think
and
Harrison
put you-
Ford can climb walls and shit, like, all day. So, yeah. I
Well,
guess
Harrison
it's
Ford
and
also
put you in the
doesn't have,
driver's
like-
seat of the action. But no, it feels more like a Tomb Raider ripoff more than anything.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling.
Yeah.
Conceptually, they're pretty similar. They're just two
Conceptually, they're
people.
very similar. And then I have some things I want to say that I'm probably going to have to wait for the review.
You're gonna have to play the new Tomb Raiders because they're way different.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like, the one when they just started, like, when they kind of reboot it and they made her more like a 12, or, well, like a, I don't know, like a fucking teenage girl instead of, like, huge, massive tits. Tomb Raider, I know they made it a lot like these. But I don't know. The new ones are
Well, like
probably
all
different.
the old games are exactly like those movies. They're just like ridiculous,
Yeah,
or they're going after like one bullshitly powered object.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of like that in the new ones, but Uncharted is more like Indiana Jones with just like a third-person shooter feel.
And a lot more
Just
people
'cause,
dead.
like, they
a lot
go-
more people dead after too.
Well, they just go more in depth with like the search and stuff, whereas like Tomb Raider's like, oh well, we already kind of know, and we're just gonna go there and kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, we already kind of know where it's at, and actually, so does this, evil organization that's going to be chasing us the whole time.
Yeah, you're like, I'm really surprised.
It's
like-
the fucking Illuminati.
They know, we know, and
Is
it's
it
just
really?
time to kill each other. And it's,
Oh my god, it is the same thing as Tomb Raider then?
Wait, what?
Because that's what Tomb Raider is. It's
That's what I just said. It's Tomb Raider. That's what happens in Tomb Raider.
Oh no, he was talking about Uncharted, though, wasn't he?
Oh,
no, I
he
was kind of talking about Tomb Raider. But
Oh, whoa, are they really similar? So I couldn't tell which one they were
yeah,
talking about?
no, that's exactly what it is. But
Evil-
it wasn't technically the Illuminati in
Okay.
this one.
There's no
Yeah, it
evil
was just a
organization.
guy with a bunch of
It was
black
just
guys
it was
working
just
for him.
There's no evil
You put in the
organization.
No,
no,
in the
no. There's
Uncharted
two
series
different.
until
There's
like 3.
There's two different guys who know where the fucking treasure is. Two different groups. One hired by the other one, and the one hired by the other one. It's not a bunch of black people. It's a bunch of I'm thinking like Pacific Islander type of people or something like that.
In the first one, they're pirates.
Pirates?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I guess Eddie's just a pirate, and he has a large pirate crew
Yeah.
of untrained pirates.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, man. If
when
you
the
play
actual
on-
trained people who come in, then they do the same exact stuff as the untrained people. They just have better gear.
If you play
It's like they
on,
didn't change the AI at all.
If you play on balls to the wall difficulty. They all feel like
Yeah, there are
trained
certain parts of this
assassins.
game
They
that
feel like hitmen.
there's certain parts of this game I'm gonna have to get your 2 cents on how it was for you, because
Fucking rape.
there's in normal mode there are certain parts of the game are like, oh, I'm gonna have to play this over a couple times.
Yeah. No, I know. There was a lot of every time. It was playing over.
Because there's certain times when you come around a corner and you don't know where the enemies are yet. It's just like it's scripted in the game for them to at least get one shot off at you.
Dude,
Yeah.
you guys
And
had
that would be instant
completely
death for
different
you.
experiences because he was playing like 3 difficulties.
Yeah, I was playing on the
higher than you.
difficulty that the game developers intended the game to be played at.
What?
And Schweiss was like, "Make me hate this game."
Isn't that Grounded Plus or whatever? Is that the intended difficulty?
No, just normal.
No. What was the one for me? It was...
Crushing.
Yeah.
You wanted them to crush your asshole.
Yeah, it's pretty...
He
that's
just-
pretty much what
He
happened.
just likes to torture himself for those trophies.
Yeah, I got a lot.
I'm kind of
I
surprised.
got a decent amount too. Do you know how many headshots you had at the end?
You
Dude,
gotta check them stats.
well over
I need to go look at them again.
so many. Because when you replay it, it counts it.
Oh, fuck that. then.
So I was beating, like, everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
there are some
Because as I was going through and beating other people's records, I'm like, I'm just going to go for the headshot trophy. That's going to be my thing.
Did you ever see my name come up?
Not if you played the game twice. There's no way I could have. Not unless you're going for headshots only. Because I was pretty much until the last part of the game where it makes you use your secondary weapon. I was just going for pistol headshots.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say that is secondary, but that's the ultimate weapon in the game. So you don't do any other weapon than the pistol. It's just so
Yeah.
overpowered. I mean, you do, but...
And then when it tries to
Gotta
take
get
you
all
away
those
with
weapon kills for them
with those
trophies.
Desert Eagles or those Magnums, you're like, oh, 1-shot kill. Not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
It's not accurate enough to guarantee a headshot every time. It only has like 5 or 6 rounds. Nope. So once I found that upgraded pistol, that's just what I went with.
Yeah, the upgraded one's even better. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
But yeah, we're getting a little.
That's what happens when you upgrade twice.
I didn't
It
upgrade.
gets better.
You didn't pick up the upgraded pistol?
No, I did. I didn't upgrade it. I just picked it up. I threw my old one away.
That's
cast it aside.
exactly what I did. The upgraded pistol.
Yeah, but Craig makes it seem like I'm out there tinkering with the fucker, like
No, there's no tinkering.
No, if you
lengthening
get
the
if you,
barrel so that it becomes
No, I
ridiculous.
just said that if something happens and your gun is upgraded, then obviously the upgrade is better.
Well, yeah, that is what that word means.
Yeah.
It's just the
You're
upgraded
just like,
pistol.
oh, it's way better. It's
held
like,
more
obviously
rounds.
it's
I don't know
way
if it
better.
did more or less damage. It just held more rounds, and I was just after those headshots.
Yeah. Well, clearly, we're prepared to talk about Uncharted.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to do today, guys. Obviously, based on the episode description, this is the Uncharted review. Cameron and I both played the PS4 remaster version of Uncharted, and hopefully we'll play more of those games. I kind of want to. I mean, I want to finish the platinum on that one, of course, but it's kind of sick, so might take a little while. Anyway, guys, what have you been playing this week, Craig? What have you been up to?
Let's see. I streamed a little bit of that Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise, and that's pretty sweet. And then I played some Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, and then some 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, which unfortunately we didn't get to stream because of our lack of knowledge about the game.
Well, yeah, there were two things. One, I may have cooked all of our equipment, and two, and I found out why, because there's I don't know what the fuck this plug goes to, but it fits the splitter perfectly, and the splitter lights turn on, and it doesn't seem overpowered or anything.
No.
Until you watch it for long enough, and then the back lights like flash and then dim. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I look at the plug, and I have no idea where this plug goes to, right? But it says it's 12 volts, and the splitter, or no, and the splitter's connection is supposed to be 5. So it's double and a half too strong for the splitter, and it might have cooked
Yeah.
Gatos.
Because, just fuck them, right? It's only like $100 and something per
Yeah,
Elgato.
fuck it. So that's
$150.
That's what we-
$150 per Elgato.
that's
Just
what we
fucking
do with
fry
your.
it.
That's what we do with your money. We just cook it.
Jesus.
Cook it like meth in this house of mine. That's very, very possible, and I'm almost positive that's exactly what happened yesterday. So that was one. Two.
The other thing was that we kind of discovered late that we couldn't actually play it online.
Yeah. So we got a message from a great listener who was like, "Hey, there's no local co-op on that game. Just so you know, it's only online." I'm like, "Oh, awesome, thanks." So I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, let's get another copy. Let's get prepared."
Yep.
Caleb.
So I
bought it.
went. Yeah, I even had to embarrass myself in front of a GameStop lady. Yeah, she was like, I was like, yeah, 50 cent, Blur of the
Craig,
Sand. She was like, you want that warranty on that game? It's kind of hard to find. I'm like, I can't say that I do.
I mean, come on, Craig. She has no idea what she's talking about. She's just trying to sell you a warranty because it's GameStop.
Yeah, who goes to fucking GameStop anymore?
Yeah, yeah.
They're the only ones that had it.
And it's a woman, Craig. Come on.
Jesus.
Come on.
Cheap as Schweiss. What is your?
What is your
There's
thing?
just a little
why are you sexist?
There's just
today?
a little tag that says rare, try to sell warranty on the side. She doesn't actually know what she's talking about.
I don't think that was on
I
my
know,
copy
I'm
of
kidding.
50 Cent.
I'm
Like,
kidding.
it was
Some
literally
have-
just the disc.
Yeah.
What happened this morning?
Sub 4 hour or sub 5 hours of sleep and I just become extra sexist. But if I get
Extra
too much
sexist?
sleep, I'm racist. So it's like, which one do you want?
There's no happy medium.
No, the happy medium is like almost enough sleep where I'm just normal. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But that is hilarious. Though.
Yeah.
And when I called the game stores near me, they all said the same thing. Like, oh, that one's kind of a hard one to find. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
yeah.
When I initially called,
It's
called
like
the
a script pops up whenever they look up a game. Say these lines exactly. Oh, that one's kind of hard to find. Would you like to have the insurance for it?
yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
called fucking Provo GameStop because I was going to be coming up here, obviously. So I was like, "Hey, do you this is going to be something you've never heard? Do you have 50 Cent Blood on the Sand?" And he's
It's
like,
been
what?"
years.
And then he's like, "Okay, I'll look at it." And then he's like, "Yeah, we don't actually have any, but the Orem one and Springville one both have it." And I was like, "Okay, that's good. At least they both have it."
Yeah, none of the local shops up here had it.
Yeah.
Mario's would have had it.
I guess, yeah.
So
when
there's
you
two
need to go get it in
copies
person,
in
then
Utah
it's better to have
County
it.
of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, and I'm now the proud owner of one.
And I
Nice.
ordered 2 more
How
Japanese.
much did you have to throw down for that?
$15.
Wow.
You know how much that was when I saw it like 5 years ago? Like
50
15
cents.
Sounds like we started another thing where we talk about a game.
Yeah, something must have happened. At least even to 50. Something must have happened to 50 to be like, you know what? Everybody wants this game now.
I should hoard. I say we hoard copies of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, and we like just control the market.
Become the distributors as Schweiss wanted. Like he was telling me, he's like, yeah, we should get like a shitload of copies and then just like give away a copy with whatever game somebody like wins.
Yeah.
So they get 2 games.
Well,
so
as-
they have to play 50 Cent.
Well, if we keep building up our stock instead of giving them away to listeners, then we can eventually build our geekdom game emporium.
Yeah, that's true.
Just have a store that only has 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
Yeah. And then 1 copy of Bulletproof. It's like mint collection edition.
Anyway, so the other thing that happened that we couldn't stream was like we were discovering that like we thought it had trophies and then it didn't have trophies, and so I found out that only the Japanese version had trophies. And so while Schweiss was looking that up, he found out that the Japanese servers for the game might be up. So we were like, okay, well maybe we should just buy Japanese copies of 50 Cent so that we could actually play this game online. And then we later discovered, after Schweiss bought 2 copies of the Japanese version, that it actually isn't still up.
Why would you think that it's still up?
Because it was up for years after. And it was not clear as to...
Yeah, there's no clear answer as to whether or not they were still going on.
Do they have like one of those fake servers up like they do for Outbreak?
No. It's tougher, I think, because...
The reason that they were down in the first place is because the online was being handled by GameSpy, and they went under like 2014, or maybe it wasn't under. They just
Oh,
went
cool.
and did
I
something
ended
else.
up
couldn't
actually
remember.
canceling one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm only getting the one for me to get trophies, of course.
Yeah.
Is there
It's-
no way you can do like a LAN hookup?
No, only online. It's really stupid. Borderlands has a genius setup.
So you can't play it together then, is what you guys
No.
are saying?
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, isn't
That's
that
really
fun?
fucking lame.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
I was so excited to play this game with Caleb, dude.
Yeah.
'Cause I saw how much fun he was having.
Oh my god.
And then I imagined how much fun I would have at his expense.
It would be way more entertaining if we could play it co-op.
I would require hard mode, though.
You would have to be a way better gunner than the fucking AI, because that guy was a fucking asshole.
I feel like I could probably do that.
God, that game,
It's
dude.
kind of like...
Dude, the fucking... It's the spoiler for the review. There's a part where you have to be like in an armored vehicle where your homie is like on the mounted gun of this armored vehicle,
Right.
and he just like shoots the other cars, and they take forever to fucking blow up. Like half of them were on fire and everything, and I would like it would be impossible to just straight out kill him with the gun. He was just like shooting a bunch of people at once, and since I don't have a partner, he can't focus on like one fucking vehicle. But then I can like back up into a vehicle, and then they fucking explode. I could just kill anybody by backing into them. I don't know how that's a mechanic, but it is. If you literally squish somebody against something, they also explode.
Yeah, that's Grand Theft Auto mode. That's awesome. Tanks, you just fucking bump them and they
Dude,
just they
running
blow
over
up.
people was hilarious, though.
Nice.
It still gives you like full points
Honestly,
instead of like a quarter.
50
which
Cent
like what
is
most
kind of
games
the
do.
all-American hero in this game because you're in the Middle
Oh
East,
my
just
God, yeah,
massacring.
you're in the middle.
dude.
You're in the Middle East,
Middle
starting
East?
a fucking
Yeah.
That's 50 Cent.
Yeah, dude, you're starting a fucking race war. Is what you're doing in that game.
In the Middle
It's
East.
literally 4 black dudes against the entirety of the Middle East.
Yeah.
Whoa, this game is
This is
sounding
the-
better and better by
it's
the
the
second.
ultimate
Dude, it's-
jihad, dude.
dude,
It's
he
fucking
also-
sweet.
He throws grenades like a fucking baseball player too, dude. They go fucking straight. Like there's a fucking there's a fucking tank that came out, and I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna fucking fight a tank? And then I just throw fucking grenades at it, and they like he's like, phew, and they went straight at the gun, and then they blew up and killed him in like 3 grenades, and I was like, holy shit.
Like, man, he really knows how to throw a grenade.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what the fuck? He like has the 100% accuracy with everything.
Well, that's a lot better than how Drake throws grenades.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking disgusting.
We need some 50 Cent treasure hunting stories now, too.
Yeah, dude. I feel like he's on the decline though, so I don't know. He's busy producing and like directing movies and stuff, and acting in like occasional movies. He's got to get back into his music. That's how we get the games. We don't get the games from his fucking acting.
Dude, it took me like half the game to unlock this fucking uberly powerful revolver that had G Unit written on it.
Yeah, it's like
all the
insta-kill, though,
guns.
right?
Yeah, dude. Fucking all the gun, like every enemy in that game is fucking bullet sponge until I got that fucking gun, and then it's like, oh my god, everything is one hit kill. It's beautiful. That fucking pistol with G Unit written on it is the greatest gun in the game.
It is pretty sweet. I'm so excited to play this, Greg. You have no idea.
God, dude.
I'm playing on hard too.
Oh yeah, he also has like robotic limbs, man. He like fucking shreds through like fucking crates and wooden walls. He just like fucking like low kicks it and they fucking shatter. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's so awesome, dude. And we have a third copy, Cameron. You could take it with you.
He doesn't have a PS3 though.
Oh, that's true. It's worth it, man. Just go get a PS3 just for this game.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Dude, the game was totally built for co-op, so I'm really sad that we
Yeah,
actually can't
and
play
so
it.
that like
'Cause
the
you have
one
to-
feature of the game that's supposed to be amazing cannot be realized.
Well, yeah, when you start the game and you play solo, it's like pick your homie, so you like have to have you have to have a second guy there all the time because they have to help you open doors and shit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Do you have a favorite homie so far?
I like the asshole who's wearing the fedora. The other two guys are stupid.
All right.
I don't know who.
I don't know any of their names,
Yeah.
and they don't matter because they're useless
Yeah,
until you have to open doors.
Or get a boost.
Yeah, or get a boost.
Hey, homie, give me a boost.
Dude, they literally say that all the time. They're like, homie, I need you over here.
Homie, I can't cut this chicken. Come over here and feed it to me.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cutting food into little pieces for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when you know they're real bros.
Yeah. So it's fucking sweet. I'm pumped, man.
Yeah, Schweiss was watching me play it for like 3 hours.
It's like
yesterday.
Bulletstorm, but with 50 cents, so it's better.
Yeah.
It's like an arcade shooter, so you get like points they rack up, and you find posters, 50 cent everywhere. Because he's
and
just
there's,
got
like,
a
random targets on the walls that you can find and shoot.
yeah.
So is it really like? Is it? So it's an arcade shooter, but it's not a shooter on rails, though.
No,
Okay.
no, it's open world.
No,
Ish.
well, not really.
It's like in an area.
It's definitely linear.
You
but
can
it's-
explore a little, but
It's a cover shooter.
yeah, it's
definitely.
like Gears of War, but with posters of everyone hanging up everywhere, and then random targets. So it's like a weird Gears of War Bulletstorm.
It's not even just
type-
like
type
pictures
game.
of them. It's like random people that I have no idea who they are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I only saw that one that was with 50 cent. And the reason why there's 50 cent posters is because you just got done with the concert, Craig.
I know, but there was one in an abandoned mall. Like
I'm pretty sure that doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure he was wearing grenades when he left that concert hall as well.
I don't doubt it.
I feel like I saw that.
He had the fucking like,
So where was the
bulletproof
concert supposed to
vest
be at?
Just somewhere in the
Jesus,
Middle
I
East.
don't
I don't
know, like-
remember. I don't know the town.
Like
Okay.
Afghanistan during the invasion. Like
Yeah, but
fucking
dude,
hardcore.
like he's there for like a day, and he already knows an arms dealer and is set up with a dude who like.
I mean, those are connections you make before you get there.
yeah.
like he knows like everybody who does everything that he could possibly need.
Yeah, no, you figured that shit out before your wheels down.
And somebody
He's
stole
like,
his
I'm gonna
crystal
need some
skull.
weapons.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it's like a skull that's like
he's
been
kind of
bedazzled
Indiana
with like
Jones as well.
diamonds.
He is
Which
yet
is-
another indie.
It's literally been bedazzled.
These fucking pumpkins.
Yeah.
Fucking pumpkins underneath the table. Someone's getting ready
That
early.
game is so fucking flimsy.
Someone sure is.
Dude, and the soundtrack is awful.
Well, it is a Schweiss, I guess.
It plays like the same 4 songs over and
Until
over
you
again.
unlock
Even
more.
though my playlist was at least 12 songs.
But you had to add those to the playlist. You had to add the songs.
No,
to
I
the list.
added later, but the starting playlist is like 10 or 12 songs, dude. And it was only playing those same 4 songs.
Well, yeah, but they weren't added.
Like the gun goes off song, I fucking hate it. I hate it so much because it played like 20 times.
Yeah. Craig, all you got to do is, and this is something I was worried about too, you just can't say the N-word on the stream, dude. And it's hard because they say it all the fucking time.
They do, and I laugh every time, but I don't have the temptation to say it.
Don't do it.
Don't get cozy.
Don't do. I'll
Don't
pull
get
your. I'll
cozy
pull
with
your
the language.
pull your mic cord, man. Don't
No,
do it.
I don't.
I can see it on his lips. See it in his eyes.
I have no desire to say it.
I feel like we haven't quite gotten there yet. As soon as angry ass black
I
dude
say-
says we can, though, I'm
Yeah, we have to have a recorded pass from him,
Dude,
If he can issue us a pass, then maybe.
yeah.
But until we
Here's
have
your-
that on record,
Here's your end pass.
no, the only thing that I could just say from that game is homie, because they say that all the time.
yeah, and that's cutting it close. I mean,
Is it?
yes,
I don't think it is. I don't think it's close at all.
yeah. It's pretty sweet though. But so Craig played a bunch of that. Actually, he's probably like almost done with that game.
Yeah, it's only supposed to be
honestly.
like 5.5 hours, and I was playing it for like 2-3 hours yesterday. So,
I was trying to set up a stream and then figure out what the fuck was going on.
and I had to save all my cash so I could buy that fucking sweet ass gun.
Yeah, there's taunts. It's cool.
Oh
It's
my
great.
god, the shotgun, by the way, is fucking random as shit. It's either the most godly gun that can snipe people from a mile away, or it's the one that can't even shoot somebody that's directly in front of you.
okay.
It's ridiculous. I hate it.
I didn't like the shotgun in the game I displayed either, but you know,
Anyway, so what have you been playing? Now that you know what I have.
yeah. Well, I've been playing Uncharted: Drake's Fortune. That's what I've been playing. Beat it. And then also trying to figure out...
Whoa, spoilers, Cameron. You can't tell us you beat it yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, he
It's
beat it.
it's the review.
It's the review, and he hasn't played it in any previous week.
Caleb,
So,
we're privy to information that they don't have.
I mean, as soon as they see the
They
title
have
of
a
the episode,
pretty
they have it.
educated guess.
Yeah, as soon as
Schweiss.
this drops, like, oh, look, it's the Uncharted
Not
review.
everyone can read, Craig. They just push buttons. You know, they
yeah.
had
Not
someone-
everyone reads with their eyes, Craig. I mean, Audible's a thing.
Yeah, so they can't read the words on the screen telling them what Nude Client episode it is. They just wait until we say it.
You know, there's that thing that can, like, read them what's on the screen, right?
No, I don't know what that is.
Yes, but
It's for blind people.
it's
Oh.
Yeah.
besides the point. Anyway, I was also working on the stream setup. So the whole thing that I was setting out to do, I did it.
Yeah.
I can now use my one microphone to talk both to the stream and to people in my party. And I can get all my party audio into the stream. It's perfect. Except for the fact I am no longer able to control the level of party chat to game volume. And so it's all just 100% party volume all the way up.
Just jack that fucking game volume up.
No,
too.
but see, if I jack the game volume up, I'm also jacking up the party audio at the same time. They're one now.
Can't you mess with the party volume in the
No.
settings on the PS4?
Because for some reason we do all audio out on an optical cable. You now relinquish your ability to mix the party audio unless you have the party audio going out to a separate output via USB.
So
the
it
problem with
doesn't-
that...
It doesn't let you change it at all?
Nope, not at all. It doesn't allow you to mix it anymore. And the only problem with that is since I'm using a USB mic for the PlayStation for some fucking reason, oh, he hooked up a USB thing to me. It must be a headset mic combo. And so now it tries to put, if I say output audio to headset, it tries to output the game, the game chat audio to my microphone, which of course can't.
Huh.
Can't you throw it anywhere. And so I understand now how those headset mix amps work, because you hook up the optical out for game, and then the mix amp also has USB thing that you throw in as well, and you then tell it to output all game chat to a headset, which goes into the mix amp. And now you can then control the mix between game and party chat within the mix amp itself. So you have that dial to how make one louder and quieter, and it's just doing it within the mix amp and not within the PlayStation.
Oh, so you had to try to get everyone to regulate their...
Yeah, and so
volume.
next time I play with people, I'm going to have to tell them, hey, can you make sure your mic is a little quieter?
Yeah, can you?
I'm
not
going
be
to
such
test
a
it out
loud
with
fuck?
I'm going to test it out with Craig. I think that's going to be a decent medium way, because he's not too quiet, but he's not too loud either. He's like a good medium.
You have louder people that you game with.
But there's Zach, who I play with from time to time, and he fucking clips the mic constantly. Like, if you think Craig gets mad at games, like, you should listen to Zach play, like, Battlefield, any sort of competitive shooter game, and it's just... I'm not going to do it to you guys, sorry. But just imagine rage and clipping mic sounds.
Yeah.
Love you, Zach. We need to play some Overwatch sometime.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. Glad you played some Uncharted.
Yeah.
That's really all you played, though, huh?
Yeah.
Just working on technical stuff for the shows.
Yep. And
So,
so
yeah.
I have different ideas for the show in general that I kind of want us to do, figuring out getting our episode streaming back online. Did you make that purchase?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Because we didn't really settle on one. We just settled on the idea of one.
Well, let's settle on one so we can.
Yeah, we'll have to open up a chat on the side when we part ways today.
Okay.
We'll just decide on something.
When we part ways. Yeah, so that's a necessity, because I'm going to figure out all that streaming shit to multiple platforms at the same time.
Yeah, you should do that. So yeah, we'll update you guys when we have more of that. I got new captains for the Hog. Abrac is going to actually take over.
Abrac cracks the whip.
Yeah, Abrac cracks the whip,
Fucking
and then
A.
Chase is just going to have his own team again because we kind of just gave it to the Death Sword because it was him and his wife. So he just has one, and Chase has one. Although I don't know if the Death Sword actually wanted to, but yeah, too bad.
How active is thy
the
Death
whole
Sword's
thing
wife?
there was going to be volunteers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and they
Did-
volunteered. I asked them to do it.
That's not volunteering, Schweiss.
It is if you say yes. I'm not forcing them to say yes. Craig.
No, Schweiss. Asking somebody to do something is not them volunteering for it.
Well, I asked them
it's
to
them
volunteer.
agreeing to do something that you asked them to do.
Well,
Yeah.
if
They're
you,
completely
you,
separate
That
ideas.
is
you
very
guys no
separate.
longer have say because you gave up your
Oh.
teams because you're lazy.
That's not a say. I'm just telling you that you're wrong, and that's not what that means.
Did I say volunteer?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Well, they volunteered to say yes. I didn't make them say yes. It was voluntary.
Again, that's not what that means.
I mean,
It
if
was
we
a-
open up,
it was a conscious decision.
if
to,
we open up tryouts for captain position, that'd be a more fair way to get people on teams. But there's
Well-
always a next season.
if you want to come up with a way to do that, then feel free to
but,
do so.
how active is thy Death Sword's wife in the league?
She's like one of the top 10.
We should put them as separate team captains. I feel like that'd have a real good dynamic.
That could be kind of cool.
A little bit of less of them working together on stuff and then them working against each other.
That
Yeah.
death,
I love
divorce.
Yeah. Thy divorce sword. Thy divorce gavel. That's what one of them will change their name to.
A little bit of friendly competition is
Yeah.
always great.
Well, someone could always take her. Someone could always just take her as their team because they don't get first pick. They get second to last pick because they were the second to best team last year.
Right.
So she's open. Just saying. Just saying. Just go for it.
Yeah, I guess when are the drafts happening?
I'll invite those guys to the chat and then make sure everyone that's in it is cool with it, and then I'll just put up I'll just kind of put up a text file or something showing everyone's rankings within the Hog so that we can see who's doing the most, and then just start drafting people off.
Okay.
So it should be reasonably quick if everyone's kind of on it. But I mean, the nice thing about Twitter, and it's a no time limit draft pretty much because we're just going to do it until it's done.
Right.
The nice thing about Twitter is you can kind of just mess with it every once in a while and just pick whoever's the best person next, or the person you want on your team. It doesn't have to be the best person. Someone that you can go Bill mode on and just forge into a monster to get your team points.
Yeah.
But yeah. I wish more of these guys had Twitter and stuff though, because I think it'd make it easier to get on people.
We could make requirements to be a part of the Hog League.
Yeah, we could. I mean, you have to have hogged within a certain amount of time or something.
Yeah, Hog within a certain amount of time have, a certain mode of communication available to where you could see it and respond to it.
Yeah, I don't know. We can think about that though. So yeah, we're doing that, but just gotta start it. I played. Oh man, I played Resident Evil Outbreak again.
Of course you did.
I finished 2 more levels on hard, and now I have the last level to do on hard, and then I'm pretty sure I unlock very hard, so I can start trying that out. It's
Are there any trophies for the game? What's the purpose?
It's a PS2 game, so
right. So there's no trophy. Why?
I think it's fun. It's just
Okay.
fun. It's fun to speed
It's like
run.
his favorite game.
It's pretty good, and they're gonna come out with another one. It's happening, Craig. They showed a screenshot of the new Resident Evil game. There was a thumbnail that leaked, and it has a picture of a guy with Raccoon University Raccoon University shirt, jacket thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the only game that's ever appeared in is Resident Evil Outbreak, Craig. And it's a 5-player co-op game. Pretty sure it's going to be 4 people trying to survive against one boss dude. Who's the other person? Which I kind of would rather just be 4 people against the AI. But
So it's going to be like fucking the Friday the 13th game and Dead by Daylight, just Resident Evil.
yeah, it'll have puzzles and stuff instead.
Interesting.
Yeah, hopefully like
Somebody get to play as Mr. X.
Probably. I imagine it's going to have stuff like that. Or a Mr. X-like character, which a lot of the games have.
Well, I imagine if it's going to be in that same vein, you get to choose.
Then it's
And
kind
then you
of
could
going to
be
feel like
Mr. X, Nemesis, fucking maybe even Wesker or something.
it's gonna kind of feel like one of those fucking crap. What's the name of that game? The one that we played a shit ton and then just stopped playing, and Brandy was mad at us.
Prey or...
Neverwinter?
No. The killer game where you're all trying to escape the killer.
Yeah, that was Dead by Daylight.
Oh, is it Dead by Daylight? I thought I thought Dead by Daylight was a different game in my head a second ago.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Just there'll be like Resident Evil puzzles and stuff. So it'll probably have more replay value than those games. Because those games are very basic. But I don't know yet. I mean, we'll have to see what they come out with. But
It'll be interesting.
yeah.
It'd be a Dead by Daylight where you have guns.
Yeah.
Well, so with the killer, if you play as Nemesis, get a fucking big-ass rocket launcher.
But see, yeah. I wonder how that's going to work when you have 4 people and they're all trying to get out of the area together. And then as they start dying, it makes it harder and harder for the remaining survivors to get out.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing with Dead by Daylight, but in Dead by Daylight, you can, rely on the other teammates to make a lot of noise and get caught while you're sneaking out the back.
If they had more ways to get out, that'd be awesome in that game.
Yeah, that game's really fun to play, like, drunk and just fucking around. But
Yeah,
it
so you
kinda-
pass out
So
while
you-
waiting for you
yeah,
to start
so
another
you-
round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's real fun.
But
You
it's-
sit
I
there
don't
for
know.
like 20 minutes.
But it's like...
Oh, we playing? And then immediately pass out again.
And then we...
and then he like never does anything, and I'm like, where is he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's... I don't know. It's just really... I feel like we got our fill of it, which is sad.
I don't know. I still feel the yearning to go back and play it some more.
I don't know. I mean, it was fun when we didn't quite know what to do and everything was scary. But then once you reach a certain level of familiarity with the game and know what you're supposed to do, like it takes kind of the magic away of being chased by
it's it's no
maniac.
Conan Exiles. I mean, to be sure, the magic for that lives on. Because once you figure out what to do, then you're like, well, I could just restart and do it faster,
Yeah.
do it better.
Next time we play Conan, it should be on the PC.
Yeah.
And you guys see that fucking cross picture I sent you? It's like a giant cross, like right outside my house for some reason. And I was like, oh my god, I'm in the exiled land.
Yeah.
I can't go past it.
The Craig's-Out Land.
Nice. Yeah, so I played a good amount of that, and then I also played Siphon Filter 3 this week. It's pretty good. I
Oh,
don't
yeah?
think it's as good as the other two so far, but it's good. I like it. I got the unlimited taser immediately, so that was fun. And 2, I didn't get it until like halfway through the game, so that's a plus. But that's it for me this week. Guys, we all know what we've been playing, but the real question, the only question, anybody beat a game this week?
I beat that Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
Power Ranger game, huh?
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I always kind of thought Power Rangers were lame. But,
I mean, they are, but it's fun at the same time.
yeah, okay. What about you, Cameron?
Sweet fucking game.
Uncharted Drake's Fortune.
All right, Drake's Fortune. Good work.
I don't know why you asked him. You already know.
Yeah. And I mean, he did say that was all he had played, so. And I actually didn't beat a game this week, so no no triple play Nude Clan, which means the Nude Clan Hog, Super Hog, well, not Super Hog, Nude Clan Hog, sorry, for the hosts is as follows. Caleb Craig, King Hog, 34 games. I am in second place with 25, and Cameron is in third with 11. So that is how it is, guys. Get your hog in so people will want to draft you to their team, and we can do this fun competition. Well, shall we get into Uncharted?
Let's do it.
All right. You know, I'm just going to pull it up live. Let's just pull up this fucking trailer right now. It's great.
You do that.
Great great potting right here. Full gameplay, the movie walkthrough. That's great.
They don't have any fucking trailers.
No, they do. They have a trailer.
I'll click on that shit.
All right. We'll do the E3 2006 trailer. How about that?
Whatever works.
Got a bunch for like the remastered. Whoa, GTTV. Whoa.
Well, Sony Computer Entertainment. Naughty Dog. Some things lost should never be found. Some curses cannot be undone.
I think that's 50 cents.
On the
Crystal
train.
Skull.
This is like a 50-cent skid now in there.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
The hunter becomes the massacre.
Jump out of windows. Climb up cliffs. Shoot pirates in the head.
Choke a bitch out.
A mechanic that you hardly ever use.
A camera angle you never see. A crowd that always cheers. All right, so Uncharted, action-adventure game, released by Naughty Dog Entertainment, famed producers and developers of Crash Bandicoot series.
Jack and Daxter.
Jack and Daxter was their next big project, and now it's kind of Uncharted and, of course,
Last of Us.
Last of Us, which is just Uncharted on steroids. Well, it's actually kind of very different.
Very different.
I think it's way better than Uncharted, to be honest. The stealth is actually real in those games, and it's not in Uncharted 1, at least. It's very flawed.
Again, Schweiss, you were playing
There's
it on
stealth.
Crushing.
There's stealth in Uncharted.
See, Cameron wasn't playing it on Crushing, so again,
Well, then
stuff
you
that
guys suck
mic
at it.
up your
Well, there was
asshole.
a portions like, well, how am I going to get to here without people seeing me? And so I was trying to sneak, but every time they saw me, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to kill everybody then.
Yeah, it's annoying. But yeah, so those guys developed the game. This is kind of what Naughty Dog does. They kind of go with like one big thing. And they have these big series. And honestly, until these games came out, well, I guess the Jack games I liked a lot. I never really played Ratchet and Clank, so they've always had like almost like a weird rivalry with
Ratchet and Clank is Insomniac.
I know they've almost had like a similar setup to Insomniac, because Insomniac had Spyro, which is better than Crash Bandicoot, because Crash Bandicoot is sadistic and
Did Insomniac
hateful.
do Spyro?
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
So Spyro wins, and then secondly, most people like Ratchet and Clank more than Jack and Daxter, but I've always liked Jack.
Jack is way better.
Because Jack 3 is like an amazing game.
Yeah, Jack 3 is really fucking good.
So I've been on the Jack train, and then after that it was what did Insomniac do last, like series wise? they haven't. Have they been that active? Like I don't remember.
They've done like a bunch of Ratchet and Clanks.
Yeah,
the
I
last
think
project they did though was Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I don't really remember anything like too huge coming from them outside of the Ratchet and Clanks and that Spider-Man. Recently, anyway.
I'd say Spider-Man's pretty recent, to see what they're doing right now.
Yeah, it's probably doing a sequel right now.
yeah. I'm sure they are.
So that would be a series, if that's what you're talking about.
So looking at their page real fast, looks like
I feel like there was something else though. I don't know why I'm having memory
2018
loss.
they had a game called
Are you
Seeding,
thinking of like...
and then 2019.
studio?
Oh, they did the
Stormland.
Resistance games. That's right. That's a random. Yeah. I was gonna say that, but I was like, did they do
Wow.
that? That's a weird shift for them.
The only one I remember playing is Resistance 3, which is pretty sweet, but...
Yeah. So that was their next big series. I never really wanted to play those though, which is kind of sad because I was always a PlayStation guy, and I just never did. And I was like, yeah, Gears of War is pretty sweet. So
I mean, Gears of War is better.
Yeah.
Resistance 3 is kind of cool, though.
yeah,
It's the only one I've played.
and it's not like Gears of War is that great, honestly. Like it's pretty cool, but I mean, the fact that there's 5 now, it's like the story really ended with 3. Like, let's be clear here. I felt like, oh, that was a good wrap up, and then I'm like, oh, there's a 4. Now I'm
I
like, oh
mean,
wow,
They,
there's a
they
5.
can't. They can't actually
can't
stop huge series.
They
Like
can't
that.
let big series go, just like with Halo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They really couldn't let Halo go. They just took it from the creators and like, yes, we.
Creators
will
like,
make
this is really
Bungie's
kind of
like, yeah,
done.
I don't want to be a slave anymore.
Yeah. Bungie bought their freedom with their Halo sales, pretty much,
Yeah.
and then they made Destiny, which is not as good, but it's
all
pretty
right.
good. It's pretty fun.
I'd say gameplay wise, it's. I don't know. I haven't played any of the new Halos.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, there's always been kind of like a weird rivalry between these two, and it might just be mostly in my mind. But they were kind of creating games at the same time and had these big series.
Probably on PS2 they were, but Naughty Dog's definitely the bigger studio now.
Oh yeah, Naughty Dog is fucking way better than Insomniac now. And that's one of the big things that moved them in that direction was this series, I feel, with the Uncharted. Because they have 4 of them out now. Uncharted 4
They
is...
have 5.
Oh, yeah, they have that PSP one?
No, well, okay, 6 actually, because of the PS Vita one. There's Uncharted 1 through 4. Then there's that PS Vita one that I can't remember what it's called, and then there's the spin-off one.
Yeah. So with this series, Naughty Dog really wanted to make a more like a human feel because mostly they've had a Bandicoot and whatever the fuck Jack is. They've had these weird like Animorph characters.
They're like weird elf-like people.
Yeah. So like they wanted to create something more distinct and like separate from the rest of their game series, and that's when they kind of started thinking about that when they developed this game, and that began in 2005. And they were doing all sorts of changes to the game, like it was constantly being rewritten and like fucked with. And director was Amy Hennig, published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Sorry, yeah, it's Sony, and developed by, of course, Naughty Dog. Uncharted 4, I think, is like one of the top 5, or I think it's the best-selling PS4 game, which is weird because no one talks about. I don't really hear that many people talking about Uncharted. Like, I don't know anyone that physically I am your, I see you and you talk about Uncharted. There's no one in my life that does that. So I'm like, how is this game so fucking big? But it is, and of course we played the Nathan Drake collection, and I don't know. I feel like it's a good remaster. I think it looked pretty good.
It is a pretty good remaster.
Yeah, definitely better than that trailer we were just watching.
Yeah.
A second ago.
Yeah, I played it on. I played that remastered collection for 1 and 3.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the light development history. I'm glad they sort of moved in that direction because, I don't know, I feel like the company sort of grew up a little more and they started making games more for older audiences, and that's where we kind of got into The Last of Us. And I feel like this game is kind of the catalyst for those kind of games that they've made, which is awesome because you haven't played that yet, have you, Cameron?
Which game?
The Last of Us.
No.
It's a pretty good game. Before
Yeah,
Witcher
it's a pretty
3,
great game.
it had like the most Game of the Year awards ever, and Witcher 3 has like 2 more or some shit. So it's like almost the best game ever made, according to everyone. But it's pretty fucking awesome. But this is kind of where it started, and it's I was kind of not. I was like really expecting Last of Us, and then I was like, well, that's kind of unfair because this is like years before that.
Last of Us is more of a drama kind of game, whereas Uncharted is more of like that upbeat, loose kind of game that's a bit like Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Those Indiana Jones movies have like that same kind of feeling.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd probably like Last of Us a lot.
Probably.
A lot more, at least. And they have it on PS4. It's remastered. I think that one actually is sold more than the original one, if I remember correctly.
I wouldn't doubt it. Last of Us came out like the end of the PS3's life, and it was one of the first remastered games for PS4.
Yeah, and that's how I played it on PS4. So,
Yeah.
And you get to go to Salt Lake City. Whoa.
Yeah.
The airport does not look like the actual airport, but the mountains do.
And I saw some view from like I-15 into Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Pretty good, yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's
Does
impressive.
why do they go through Salt Lake City? Does it say?
There's like a hospital there that they were trying to take Ellie to.
Yeah, it was probably the
It's
U
like
of
the
U.
It's the end of the game.
Yeah, I think it's probably like the U of U hospital, because that's just the ultimate hospital. So, story. Treasure hunter, Nathan Drake, got a reporter, Elena Fisher, who is on a boat, like, filming you, oddly. And you find out that you are the descendant of Sir Francis Drake, and you're looking for his treasure because you...
Well, do you find out?
Well, he
there?
knows.
Or you
Yeah,
just
he-
knows?
he
You
already-
find out.
Because he just knows.
Yeah,
he
he
just
already knows
that. he
Well,
is,
then we...
yeah.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
we...
he
But
had-
the reason why the reporter chick was there is he was using her to finance the mission.
Oh, that's right,
And
yeah.
she was filming the treasure hunt.
So you find out as a person, Nathan Drake already knows. There, sorry. Then you start getting attacked by people. You find
Pirates.
out. You find out about it's like an El Dorado scheme.
Yeah.
So it's involved with a lot of gold.
El Dorado treasure hunt.
Yeah, and then you get rescued by your buddy Victor Sullivan, Sully, not to be confused with Sully landing the plane in the ocean. Sully, this Sully is just right
I
above.
mean, he did land it in the ocean, but it was a plane made for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Seaplane.
Yeah. So I guess he is kind of Sully-esque, but it's a little less impressive.
I mean,
'cause it has,
the similarities are striking.
they kind of are, actually, huh? It's kind of weird. I mean, nah, maybe not. But I feel like the other Sully probably doesn't have nearly as crazy of a nightlife as this guy.
No.
That's how it starts out. You find the diary in the chest that you unlock. Or no, you have the diary, and then he finds...
Well, you have the diary inside of the coffin. So the whole thing is you somehow know where he was supposedly buried at sea. You pull up
his coffin.
his coffin, which is somehow sealed watertight
which is pretty impressive.
out of some sort of metal, and you just wonder why they did that instead of traditional bury at sea type of thing.
Yeah.
But you pull it up, and then, whoa, a diary's in there.
Yeah, you pull it out, and it leads you to the treasure. It's basically his diary, him looking for El Dorado.
Yeah, it's Drake's diary looking for El Dorado.
Yeah.
And so you find... Yeah. So pirates come in, you shoot the pirates, blah, blah, blah. Then you go to land again with Sully and have a conversation about not wanting her to tag along because, if she tags along, then people are going to find out about it. And so you guys then decide to fly to the island. Is it an island or is it just somewhere in South America?
Yeah, it's an island.
Because there's another island later in the game.
It's an island that you go to in the plane, at least.
Yeah, that's the second island where the plane gets shot down.
Yeah, you go to a place, and then you run into some bad guys. the Gabriel Roman guy, who's the final boss, and then the Navarro guy.
So, yeah, you're looking for more hints of where the treasure is. You find a random U-boat stranded way up in the woods.
Yeah. And then you, your buddy, Sully, he's in a lot of debt, apparently, because he's a gambling kind of guy. And his debts kind of catch up with him. And then in the most scripted and obvious, oh, wow, he's not dead moment, the guys, like, shoot him point blank. And then I was like, well, he's probably not dead, and he's probably working with them. And then that exact thing happened, but I was like, well, he's not a douchebag, though. He's only working with them because they want to kill him. And he got saved by, like, some cigarette thing or whiskey
No, he
thing.
got saved by the diary.
Was it the diary?
Yeah, it was the diary. So you had given him the diary for safekeeping when you hopped into the U-boat. And so later when you got shot and then when you reunite with him like the third quarter of the game, he shows you the diary, and that's why the diary has a bullet hole in it for the last half, because that was what caught the bullet.
That seems like a lot for a diary.
It is, yeah.
I mean, like...
especially if it's that magnum that rest of the game that you can use in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the diary stopped the bullet.
It reminds me of the scene in The Sopranos where, like, they hold this one person down and they, like, put a phone book in between the gun and their head, and they shoot, and it goes, like, halfway into the phone book.
Yeah.
But, like, the diary is way less thick than a phone book. So,
right.
I mean, yeah, anyway, he lives, and it's, like, so obvious. And you're like, wow, okay, fine. So then you guys, you're kind of separated from him, and you slowly kind of just explore the island and start working out things, because these guys know where it is now. These guys know where the treasure is, kind of. And everyone's
they have the diary, and you remembered, and so from the U-boat, you were able to pull a map, and you were talking about what quadrant on the map that the island was, and so then they took the map from you, and they had the diary, and so they knew where to go, but you knew where to go based off of memory. So you and so the reporter chick you had met up with earlier, because you did this whole fucking temple run where the treasure from El Dorado was supposed to be. And then that's when you get jumped by the Russian dude. After you're running away from them and shooting at you, you catch back up with reporter chick who caught up with you. And then you two together go to the plane and then go to fly to that island and just forget about Sully. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are flying to the island, and then you get shot down by AA guns.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah. And you guys kind of get separated. You slowly...
Well, plane going down, you make her parachute out, then you freak out, and then parachute out, and then you land in two different places. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's the old meetup. And you kind of find and rescue your buddy Sully again. And that's when you find out that he survived from the thing.
No, so you first meet up again with the reporter chick, and you're both discovering more about the island. And then you meet up with Sully in the library.
Yeah, which is kind of far in the game. Like,
yeah.
It's a long time without your buddy. And then you start overhearing these weird things, like there's like conversation between the bad guys. So like Roman and then Eddie, the two guys that, like, Eddie has his private army, and then Roman's the guy like running the operation for the bad guys.
Yeah.
And they're having a conversation about like, no, there's like a curse on the island, and then Roman's like, come on, man, there's no fucking curses. And so it's starting to kind of like plant the idea that maybe there's something else going on here.
Well, if you paid attention, they kind of planted the idea with the Germans being involved in the whole fucking thing back in World War II, fucking Germans, and then weird wounds of the somehow still put together corpses within a U-boat in the middle of the Amazon.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, they plant the idea that there's some more shenanigans going on real early in the game.
But you don't
connect it back until later.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, this is a realistic game. And then it turns into these mutant creatures.
And so
like,
following the stupid Drake's like, why can't he just write it succinctly in his diary? Like, oh, just, do this with that and that with this and open the door. No, so
obviously he didn't want other people to find his diary.
Yeah,
and
but it was...
go to where he found the shit.
He wrote it in a roundabout way, but not hard enough to make it to where no one could figure out what it fucking said and what it meant to do. And then he might as well just fucking wrote it out instead of like, oh yeah, well I guess here in the library I have to make these statues point in the areas of the compass that they're on, and that'll unlock the door. And then you go down below into the crypt, into the grotto, which is just a way to sneak around. There wasn't anything in there. It was just a way to sneak around to hear the conversation that Schweiss just talked about between Eddie and Roman. And then you pop back up into the chapel, solve another puzzle in the chapel, which opens this other thing, which shows you where you need to go out the window, because there's nothing in there. It's just like, what happens if this whole elaborate puzzle breaks, or if they just do what Roman did and just happen to go to the right building that you needed to go to in the first place.
Yeah, he's just the luckiest man alive. And like, does everyone know where this is? Like, how the fuck is this even a thing?
Oh, and man, I had a problem. I had a problem with the one scene in the library where you open up, the grotto, the crypt below the library, and you're like, okay, just close it. They have no idea where this place is. Lo and behold, they're already down there. They have like fucking construction lights hooked up everywhere, and you're just fighting these armored dudes. It's like, yeah, they had no fucking idea where this place is. They were already here from another way.
Yeah, they've been hanging out here for a while. Like,
yeah, and then, oh man, that's a certain thing that kind of got me mad. It's like, oh, well, they're just throwing bad guys, and for some reason, they're just here when they're not supposed to.
Yeah, because like the first couple levels, there's no enemies.
And then later,
around.
as you're doing, as you go into underneath the actual crypt, the place where the treasure was supposed to be, as you're doing that stupid, ridiculous puzzle where the numbered paths were on the ground and you're supposed to follow, the correct numbers to get to where you need to go, all of a sudden you're doing this stupid, ridiculous shit to get where you need to go, and then Eddie just blows a hole in the wall up above you for some reason. Why did he do that? And then why couldn't I have just done that and skipped the stupid puzzle?
I don't know, man.
And now you have Eddie's people you're shooting at again until you finally get up all the way up to where you've been wanted to go the whole time doing that puzzle, and you find a corpse on the ground, and lo and behold, it is Drake himself.
Whoa, spoilers. He had such amazing facial hair that it has remained intact the entire time. Despite not really being in mummification territory.
No, like the longevity of these corpses.
Moisture, yeah.
Okay, there's a few different things. How is that fucking U-boat still in one piece? The first U-boat. How is that first U-boat still in one piece in the middle of the jungle?
Well, when
where
is this
it should
game
be rusting
set?
and corroding?
I feel like it's
and
not.
why are the corpses still just fucking just slightly desiccated corpses? Like a corpse in the middle of the Amazon should have been fucking cleaned. Just a skeleton by whatever. When did it set?
I don't know. It doesn't say. I'm looking it up right now. I don't see anything. I feel like it's not modern. No, I feel like it's probably like, I don't know, maybe like 80s.
80s
No,
would make.
it's not the 80s.
You don't think so?
No, because when in the third game you go back, it shows you him, Drake as a kid, and it's like it's early 80s, I think.
Oh, so it is modern.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Modern
It's-
enough.
It's roughly modern.
Yeah,
it's
the
around
longevity.
the time that it
like
came
if
out.
you leave metal exposed
Or
for
I
that
think
amount of
it is.
time, and then okay, I'm going to get to that second. Think it was like I was happy about it, and then nitpicky about it at the same time. But
That does sound like you.
and then so after you find Drake, and you now have to figure a way out of here while you were fighting off Eddie. And then you find out you're in this room, and movie chick lady, I forget her name. She finds a crane. You boost her up to the ladder. Homie, give me a boost. And then you boost her up
right.
to the ladder. She climbs up and tries to get this. For some reason, there's a fucking crane in the room. She's trying to get it down. And then you hear Eddie screaming outside, and he runs in with a couple of his goons, but they're not worried about you. They're shooting at whatever's out of the door.
Yeah.
Come to find out that there's these, it was hinting at something like this throughout the game with random wooden traps set up, weird footprints that you'd see from time to time. You're like, well, I guess we're not, it's not only us that were here. That's here. There's probably something to this curse because you're seeing signs of it everywhere. And now you finally get to, be face to face with the fucking human-sized Smeagol's that come running out of the fucking...
Yeah.
Beagles.
Little Nazi Smeagol's.
My precious El Dorado.
Yeah. Oh, my precious. Ooh.
So you get these loincloth covered...
Hello.
It's like a traditional style, like vampire type look in the face. They're all hunched over and they're ripped for some reason, just totally strong.
They're like
Climb
chupacabras.
Chupacabras climb up the wall sort of stuff, and then they swipe at you. And I think in normal difficulty, 2 swipes killed you.
It's 2 on mine.
Really?
as well,
So they
yeah.
didn't change it. So 2 swipes. And then you have a back-to-back moment with Eddie where you both are, I don't know how you guys know each other, but you know him from previous.
Yeah, you got a pass. I really liked Eddie, too. I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
But they totally killed him because
Yep.
he got bit by one and he fell off the
Fell off
side,
the edge, and you held his hand for a second. That heartbreaking moment. Then Eddie was lost.
Yeah, I was like, you better save him, and then he didn't save him. I'm like, ah.
And then it was just you alone. That's where I learned the run and gun mechanic. I hadn't used it up until that point of the game.
Oh yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's with that shotgun.
Well, I was trying to go for fucking headshots. Why would I ever fucking learn about the run and gun?
it's not as fun as the
I mean, it
shotgun
didn't teach
blind
you how to
fire
run a gun until
point
that part
blank.
either.
The point blank shotgun blind fire is the most satisfying thing. In the game.
Yeah,
Just
but if
fucking-
it's anything
dead.
more than point blank, then it's kind of up in the air.
yeah,
But anyways, you're fighting off these fucking creatures, and then she lowers the hook to you. You ride the hook up, and you both are running away until you get into an area where there's a big old bulkhead door, big old steel door, and you both run through and close it, and you're back in like 1940s technology all of a sudden on this island that
it's this German bunker you find. Yeah,
So you find out this is a German U-boat station somehow secreted away.
Yeah.
With a huge fucking like open port to the sea with a still fully intact U-boat just chilling down there.
Yeah, do you think somebody would have seen the port by now?
I mean,
just
like,
driving by, like, what the?
It was.
Wait, what
it
is
wasn't like hidden at all. It was just like maybe back in the island a little bit, like a small like kind of harbor type area. But
Yeah.
then it's like you wouldn't, if you were out to sea, you'd see it. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, wouldn't you be like, what the fuck is that? And go check it out and like, oh my god, there's fucking
That
creatures
would have been
here.
a much better entry point to the fucking island.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So this is where you find out that the Germans wanted to find the treasure
yeah,
too.
no. So you found out again. Call back to the first German U-boat with the coins, the gold coins that they had.
Yeah.
That's the callback that somehow they had a connection to the treasure. And so just, all the foreshadowing, coming into play.
Yeah, and they found out it was cursed too, and they tried to fucking get out.
Yeah, and so you're trapped in that room with her. She broke the window so you could do your fucking climbing thing to go find out how to turn on the power.
Yeah, and then you find out also that Francis Drake, your ancestor, wanted to keep it on the island. So, like, you
Yeah.
the whole time thought that he was going after it, and he was
He was until he found out.
until he realized what it was. Yeah,
It
and then
is
now,
cursed.
and now you, of course, are like, oh yeah, we can't let this fucking thing leave. Like, this is bad.
You find out that those gremlin things were the Spaniards. So you're getting to meet some pretty old individuals.
Yeah, Spaniards and
And the Germans.
yeah, and the Germans.
So one thing that
You can tell which one's which because one is dressed in lederhosen and the other is not. One's got like
I don't
the leader.
think any of them were dressed in lederhosen.
One's got the lederhosen and it's like hopping from foot to foot, like with the fucking accordion.
yeah.
Fucking chicken dance in the background.
Yeah, it was very clear which one you were killing.
So this other thing that I was looking around, I'm like, I saw weapon pickups in the German area. I'm like, I swear to God, if those are M14s, I'm just gonna fucking give up on this continuity of the game. It's just gonna be done. But I go over there finally, And no, it's MP40s.
It's the ultimate German weapon.
And so I'm like, oh. But technically, these they'd be corroded to shit. I wouldn't be able to use these actually in the ammunition because it's just a fucking big old open door to the sea, Salt water corrodes fucking metal so super easy.
It rapes metal.
And so, but I get to shoot an MP40, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
Which they weren't very accurate.
No, it's not as
not.
satisfying as MP40 World at War MP40, but I was still happy that I was using it.
No, exactly. I
That's
liked taking the MP40, and so you're going through the maze. That's the German portion of the island.
Yeah,
you figured out how to turn on the generator, which of course sparks waves of the gremlin type enemies coming at you. You use the MP40 to defend them off and stuff like that. And through this whole puzzle, you find out the Germans had tested what was going on too. They had someone chained up, the little projector movie inside one of the rooms that was somehow playing as soon as you turned on the power.
Endlessly. I'm like, man, oh no, you're right. You turned the power on.
And it was going. So it must have been
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Yeah, why were they watching that?
Well, they're just watching the result. I mean, Germans love to experiment.
That's true.
On all sorts of different things. So they're experimenting and watching what the treasure curse did. And so you watch basically someone on the film turn into one of those things while he's chained up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that must have been the one wearing the armband.
Yeah.
The one that you kill with the little Star of David armband on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're totally kidding about that. That'd be cool if we could tell. Like if I saw one that was actually playing the accordion and like hopping to the side by side, like making
you can't. They all just wear loincloths.
Making it hard to shoot. And we're like, fucking stand still. Stop it. Stop with the kicks.
But then as you find your way out and you're going back into a part where, Romans goons are there waiting for you, then you get to use the MP40 on actual humans. You're like, you die by a weapon that hasn't been used to kill a human in quite some time.
Yeah, it feels really good to bring it back.
No, but the MP4, but the M14 is much better.
Oh, well, yeah,
I mean, the pistol is by far superior.
The pistol, I said it almost immediately on the stream. I'm like, this is the best weapon in the game. The other weapons are more fun.
As long as you're accurate. The other weapons, you can burn through ammo faster to kill people faster.
Yeah.
But with the pistol, as long as their head is somewhere within that circle, you should get
dead,
them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some degree because it's not a very accurate circle. It's a lot like Mass Effect with their pistol, how you're accurate within that little circle area.
I sniped so many people with the pistol though.
It
was ridiculous.
It takes some time. Like if they're far enough away, it'll take a few shots. I often try to put their head around the edge of the circle instead of the center because that was usually. Because it's going to hit the edge more often than the center for some fucking reason. At least in my game. And so I would be able to, within a few shots, usually snipe someone at a distance with the pistol.
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
Lots of ammo for it.
And then later in the game, you had to get 2 headshots because they all fucking wore helmets for some reason. That you shoot it once and it'll just pop right off. And then you just shoot them again.
Yeah, nobody buckles their helmet, apparently, ever. So, so you you find the excavation site. They found the statue, and they're like airlifting it out because they want it because it's made of gold.
Yeah. So Roman tried. He steals the girl from you again. You're fighting your way back out and up, and you meet up with Sully again, and you go deeper in the island, and then you find the actual treasure, the El Dorado statue.
Yeah. So you kill a bunch of people and a bunch of mutants. They're all trying to get this carried out on the plane, and this part was a pain in the ass.
So this part, there's the twist. So Roman is all happy because he found the statue and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
and then his second command, who Roman's been mad at the whole time, is like, "Oh, the true treasure's inside. Open it!" And so he opens it, and then Roman gets the fucking disease that turns you into Smeagol from the treasure that's inside, closes it. And then he starts to turn and gets angry and then goes at, I forget the guy's name.
Navarro.
He charges Navarro and Navarro just puts him down. He's like, ha ha, I'm in charge now.
Stupid white man.
The
curse.
Do you know what they'll pay for this on the black market?
Yeah. At first you're like, oh, good. This guy's taking control back. We're not going to bring the curse out. And then he's like, this is worth so much money. And you're like, fuck.
And then somehow all the soldiers who were loyal to Roman are now all of a sudden loyal to...
Well, it was Navarro's army, wasn't it?
Was it his army?
I think so.
Maybe. Then why did he just take control from the beginning? Why did he have to do the fucking stupid thing?
Because he didn't know where. No, he kind of did know where. I don't know.
Yeah, so if it was Navarro's army from the beginning,
He was hired by that guy, though.
Why didn't he just kill him and just take it? Why did he have to do this special little reveal at the end?
I mean, he didn't
makes
know.
no sense.
He didn't know where the treasure was because the
But
whole reason why he came into
Roman
contact.
didn't either.
Yeah, but Roman knew after catching up to
After
Sully
literally
and Drake.
after they caught up with Sully, Navarro did not need Roman anymore.
Pretty much,
It makes
yeah.
no sense.
And he knew more about the treasure.
It makes more sense that the mercenaries were following Roman, and then Navarro somehow took control. But if it was Navarro's men from the beginning, then oh well. Anyways, that happens. They start pulling the treasure up, and then the fucking Smeagol's come out of the woodwork to come get you. What?
I think it was Eddie's guys before.
No, the Eddie's guys were the pirates before, who wore no armor.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think they might have actually been his guys. So you might be right. They might have just turned on him like, well, fuck it. Now we're working. For
If
this
they're
guy.
mercenaries, then they just skip up.
I think that might be what it was. So maybe that's why he didn't kill him before because it wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't in control.
Yeah.
But he kind of knew. He knew more about the curse than that guy did. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, he put 2 and 2 together faster, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, anyways,
Yeah. You stop it.
So they're pulling the treasure out, and you have to do the run and gun thing again to get up the
I
fucking
died
stairs.
so many times on that dude. The second time I got all the way to the top, and then I jumped
And
at a
missed.
bad angle, and I missed.
Oh yeah, don't get me on that.
The platforming is painstaking at times.
Yeah, do the run and gun. Remember, for me, it's still 2 swipes, and so if you try to run past those fucking things, they'll kill you. You have to kill them.
They'll pool and kill.
Yeah, and so you kill those guys. I only wasted a couple of rounds on the soldiers on my way up, because I'd just leave them to the fucking beasts falling behind me.
Yeah.
And then jump on the treasure as it's airlifted out. And then now you're fucking, flying, holding on the treasure as it's going out to sea. One of the dudes calls over to Nara. He's like, "Oh, dude, he's fucking clinging on the package down there. He's fucking on it." And so they're like, "Okay, well, let's lean out and start shooting at it." Then that's when movie chick, the lady, comes in with her brilliant plan to kick the one dude out of the helicopter, which she does. And as he's falling, he shoots the helicopter, which kills the dude who was in the pilot's seat. So that was a fortuitous thing to happen.
Yeah.
So then Narav has to take control of the helicopter, and he makes a decent kind of land, like crash landing on top of the ship. But you get dropped off. You jump off at the front of it where he lands on the helipad.
Yeah, and that's where you do the final showdown. You're killing a bunch of dudes, really cover based, really painful.
Cover based and scripted as fuck, because Navarro, is that his name?
Yeah.
Navarro, he's there shooting at you, and he has a shooting pattern where he'll shoot 3 times undercover, and then 1 time he'll take aim fire, and if he shoots you at that, you are dead. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's a
1-shot death.
Yep.
And even though he's there, don't waste your ammo on him, because you can't actually hit him.
Not yet.
You can shoot at him, but you can't. But the bullets will not make contact. You have to clear out the goons that are with him first before you move on to the next section. Do the same thing, rinse, repeat 3 times. Now you're at the final showdown, and you still don't shoot him. It's still super fucking scripted. He does the shoot twice at your cover, and if he shoots the 3rd time at the cover, you're dead. If you're still behind it. So you have to do the whole thing. He shoots twice, you wait for the laugh, you dodge for the next cover. Do that again. He shoots twice, you wait for the laugh, you jump to the next cover. He shoots twice, your cover is exploded, and he's like fucking with his gun for a second. That's when you have an opening to run up and punch him.
Yeah, and then you beat his ass pretty much.
And then he punches you back, you fall down, you get up, he runs after the gun, you run after him again, and initiate the next quick cutscene with punching him.
Yeah, it's very cinematic.
Cinematic.
It's like cinematic, like Dead Space 2, almost.
It's not. I don't feel it's very cinematic, personally.
Well, not when you're dying all the time in between, which does happen if you're not careful. I did a lot at the end. So yeah, you beat him down, and you basically, to kill him, you send him and the idol into the bottom of the ocean. You you cut the idol loose, and it starts sinking, and then you set it up so that it's the classic, like, oh, the rope's wrapped around his leg when it gets pulled.
Yeah.
And then it pulls his ass under. So that's a
With
pretty
the
sweet
treasure.
ending, yeah. That's like really reminiscent of Mortal Kombat 11. They're like, I can't die. And they're like, this sea is bottomless. And then he pushes him in the sea, and he's like, fucking idiot.
I can't die. Well, that sucks for you, man.
Yeah, well, you're going to be starting to die for a really long time. Fuck off. So couple games in a row for this show that have like the same ending for the bad guy.
I feel like this is a game full of tropes, and the whole dragged under because their leg was somehow in a pile of rope is kind of one of those.
One of those tropes.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. I mean, what would you give the story out of 10, Cameron?
Well, I don't know if it was kind of an exhausted theme back when the game was pushed out, but the whole search for the treasure of El Dorado and the curse on the treasure thing kind of felt old to me. Kind of like it's not very original.
Okay.
As far as the story played out, it served the gameplay, and that's the most I can say about the story. Is that it gave you a reason to play the game and be there, but again, it just didn't really pull me in. I'm probably gonna give the story 7.
Okay. I'll give it an 8. And the reason why I give it a little bit more, I feel like it was pretty stock for the most part. It was interesting, and I enjoyed it, but I really liked the characters in this game. I think they did a great job creating really likable characters out of nowhere. You know, because I enjoyed the interactions with Sully and Drake. You know, and I liked the ending where they kind of like had a shitload of gold anyway, and they paid off their debts.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Sully paid off his debts.
Yeah, Sully.
How much for that? He's like, "Hey, we already got a big ship," and he's like, "Well, I like this one better. It's got gold."
Yeah, and he just takes off. See ya, homos. But yeah, no, I'm sure you could sell at least the weapons and everything that from the dead bodies on that ship for quite a lot of money. I mean, he's pretty loaded with the big boat.
I mean,
and I'm
I
sure
was
some
thinking,
of that.
could there be a way for her to replace the boat that she sunk or that got sunk? That she took insurance out with the boat that they found there, but then who currently owns it? Yeah, there's too much of a mess. Taking the smaller boat's better.
Yeah, that's probably true. I really enjoyed the characters though. Like I liked Eddie a lot. I thought he was a fun little comic relief, and he was kind of like the bad guy sort of. But there was like a weird like past that you didn't really know about, and I really enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty well set up for a first game, and I like it because it's a very succinct story. It's just you're after this treasure, something else is going on. There's no bullshit. It's not like super convoluted and annoying.
Right.
It does get
does
tropey.
Does it not feel like a tired thing, especially at this
kinda
point?
does, yeah.
Like if you think about the Tomb Raider games, isn't there like a trope about finding a treasure but the treasure's cursed? Is that part of the
all like that?
Exactly.
Cam.
And the mummy and
It's a
every
fucking
thing that has any sense of like, oh, they're discovering something ancient. It's always cursed.
Yeah, with any sort of mysticism.
I'm just
in
like
it.
I'm just saying that's the game they made. It's been made so many times before.
And the mummy movies are that way too.
It's just
That's fair.
I don't know.
They weren't going for we're gonna do this tired trope cam. They were going for like that Indiana
and of
Jones
course they have to
type
pull in
feel.
the Germans
so of
and the
course they're gonna
German
do that.
subterfuge in it too.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the Germans would be there searching for any sense of like fucking weird voodoo shit because the
Because that's another German trope.
Because because Hitler was into that shit.
Oh man, no, I don't know.
He probably got a hard on when he found the curse.
Bad
too.
story, but it wasn't a very. It was like a story you could see through from the beginning. It's just
Yeah, there's a lot of like, and like just like with the Sully thing, like I called it immediately. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he's going to be
No, of
working with
course.
him. But I mean, I figured they shot him and they knew it wasn't going to kill him, but that wasn't really the case. It was a little more nuanced than that, but you could kind of feel exactly what was going to happen.
right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I enjoyed it. So gameplay. third-person shooter, action-based adventure game. So there's collectibles.
Yep.
It's cover-based. It's there's kind of a sneak element, but it's really not good. It's more
because you don't know, like you're looking. I mean, you can sneak and you can do a surprise attack,
but you can't really crouch or anything, so you can't reduce your sound. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, and it doesn't let you know when you're in danger of being found out. You just kind of have to like look everywhere, which is hard without leaving cover sometimes to know whether or not you'd be seen. So yes, you could sneak, but it's kind of like luck sometimes whether or not you get away with it.
Yeah, there's hand-to-hand combat that's actually pretty interesting. If you
the mechanic that is hardly used when you have guns.
There's
but
no need,
but you can use the hand-to-hand combat, and there's actually if you do the brutal takedown, they drop more ammo.
Yeah.
So
there's a bonus, a plus to doing it when you can.
Yeah.
I always hated when I was doing the stealth though, and like I would just like whip the guy around, and then he'd like be waiting for me to start punching him more and more, and I'm like, why didn't you just snap his neck? Like 4 out of 5 times when I sneak up on this guy, you snap his neck, and the 5th time you smash his head against the rock, and then you whip him around to beat the shit out of him some more. Like, why do you do that? Why don't you just fucking stealth kill him? Why do you have to be like, no, this time I'm fucking this guy up because I'm sick of restarting this stupid fucking mission. Like,
maybe you used it more than I did. Just because
it's
you had
fucking
to be
hard,
you had to stealth a little bit, so you didn't die immediately.
When you first run into the booby traps after you climb down that cliff area, I used it a lot right there, and that was the one. There was the guy like leaning against the rock.
I tried to keep getting him to run into it, but they never would.
No, I ran into it once, and I was like, "Oh, well, thanks. I just killed everybody," and I was like, "Let's go get some ammo." I got fucking Conan Barbarian with the fucking spike through the chest.
Oh, man. If you could make traps like that in Conan, fucking, I'm done. I'm just playing Conan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird that you can't make traps like that.
Just explosive traps. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is lame.
Which is odd, because that would be like the one thing that
you'd think they wouldn't
choose.
Have.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's,
yeah,
lots of cover, though. Lots of collectibles, the treasures. Did you find many of those?
Yeah, I found a good portion of them.
Nice. I got all of them, but I also had a guide, so...
No, I didn't use a guide. So.
Yeah.
If I saw a little glint in the distance, I'd go for it, but that's about it.
So, good amount of collectibles. Kind of goes on the whole, like, collecting treasure. It's kind of stupid. Some of them are, like, in really retarded places. Like, there's one, like, right next to a lighting unit. Like, somebody sat there and set up this light, and they didn't see this treasure hanging out. I'm like...
And then it's just, like, random, like, why would they drop a cross right here? It's just,
Don't question it. It's clearly just for getting that collectible.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just
There's
to have.
nothing else.
Have it to have it.
The cover-based gameplay was only slightly clunky. It didn't annoy me too much. I bet it annoyed you a lot more because every mistake was paid for by death.
Yeah, I liked the hanging mechanic. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially with the grenades. That's something I haven't seen before. That was awesome.
Yeah, you use that a lot in the second one on crushing difficulty.
Yeah.
There's a part where you kind of have to.
Don't you have to play that one again to get crushing unlocked?
I just hate the range that the grenades have. It's like... They have to travel in a very specific arc that doesn't go very far.
Yeah,
it's like, why are you like just barely tossing these?
I would just checkpoint scum a lot of them. I would just find a good spot and then go back.
Were you just tossing the grenades?
Yeah,
'cause you can aim where you're gonna throw those.
I aimed them, but on the cliffs I would just toss them because I found a good spot where they would like 2 or 3 guys would clump up and I would just like roll it on the ground, kill them, and then like let the next guy kill me, and then just go. And
tossing grenades while you're fucking like hanging on shit is a great.
It's
thing.
really satisfying.
Yeah.
Certain areas, as you use the cover-based system, clear it out. They have like machine gun nests you have to get around. Yeah. I like that, the difficulty of trying to get around that. That wasn't bad.
Yeah, but using like M79s to just fucking drop the machine gunner with the fucking rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Or
I only use the grenade launchers every so often. I didn't like to really use them.
I got all the kills with all the weapons, the trophies for them. So
nice.
It's kind of tough because you don't find very many of those rounds.
No. And then,
Luckily, in the church, you get ass raped, so you can use it all over and over and over
the
again.
Dragonov is also a good one.
Oh, yeah.
But
they do the little cunt sidestep, like the little like slight movement thing. And I fucking hate it when games do that because they're like, oh, they just move their head a little and you just miss. And I'm like, fuck, I only have 4 shots, man.
yeah,
There's 5 of you guys.
That's why I
Fucking
never
A.
really went with anything other than the pistol, just because the ammo for everything, like for all the other good weapons, was just hard to find.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of why the game like
Sometimes,
makes
though,
you pick up different guns.
when you clear through an area of enemies, they spawn back the way you were before, and it's really fun to catch them as they're climbing down stuff because their death animation is often erratic and very humorous.
Yeah,
to watch them
yeah.
just do cartwheels off of the fucking
Yeah.
vine that they were holding on.
Yeah. God, dude, and if you ever found a guy... So, were Magnum shots one-shot kills for you?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, there was the part in the like...
and so were Deagles.
Yeah. There was the part in the fucking crypt area near the end before you run into Eddie when you're like underground and it's really dark. There was a part that I died like 50 times on because like this guy just had a Magnum and he would either kill me with it or he wouldn't. And if he didn't kill me with it, there was a guy up above me with a fucking AK shooting down, and there was also another guy with a shotgun right there. So it was like the death hole. And I would just turn around and run away, and I would like try to dodge, and I would just get hit with the Magnum and just die, and it would do that little like death sound or whatever the fuck. And like that's really all I remember from this game is the fucking
Death sound.
the death sound. Yeah. And it was.
I told you not to play it on fucking crushing.
It's fucking painful, dude.
Then the one part's like, "Oh, look out! These guys have laser sights."
Yeah.
And it's just like,
yeah.
You
And it's
gotta
like,
you gotta be careful of the guys with laser.
yeah, these
sights.
fucking Silicon Valley liberals that they're like, oh, you got a laser sight? Now you're OP. And I'm like, they've got scopes on their gun. They don't need a laser sight, but the laser sight makes them fucking deadly. It's like, God, just wait until
The
they
laser is for you.
wait until they see a
It's
fucking
not for them.
bump stock or like a fucking
No, it's just like now that they have lasers, they're deadly accurate.
Yeah.
They're shooting these deagles at range.
And
50
it's
caliber handguns with laser sights.
yeah, and it's like
Get you from a 50 yards
and you
away.
kill him and you go pick it up and it's like, oh, it's the same gun he had before, but it has the laser on it. So
No,
it's
but you don't get the
1,000
laser.
times
Do you
better.
get the
No,
laser?
you don't.
No, you don't get a laser. You don't get the fucking laser
Because the
upgrade.
laser cam is for you. So you can dodge them before you get fucking destroyed.
No. Because before they had laser sights, they could still shoot you, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't kill you right away.
But after they had laser sights.
But now that they had laser sights, they'll do a sweep back and forth and then zero in on your head, and then they'll pull the trigger.
yeah, if you don't get into cover, you're just dead.
You could also keep them from zeroing in on you by doing the dodge roll.
Yeah.
Stupid though. I hate the dodge
Yeah,
roll.
fucking lasers make all the difference in the world. That was really stupid.
And it's not even like laser. It's just like it's not even a rifle. It's just that fucking handgun or deagle that they're using, and they're like way the fuck away, and they're somehow just scoping you out because they have a laser sight.
That's right, yeah. The laser just makes all the
Have you
difference.
ever tried to hold a laser steady on something that
It's
was more
hard.
than 25 feet away?
It's very hard.
Every little shake of your hand, and then the further away it is, the more that laser will vary of how it's pointing at you. And they're just fucking standing, holding up a Desert Eagle, which is a heavy gun, by the way, but it's still a handgun. It's heavy, and then they just zero in on you. But yeah, oh well.
Yeah.
Gameplay for the most part, I enjoyed it. You had to be a little more precise with the climbing mechanics, or else you just fucking launch yourself.
Yeah,
into
the
space.
platforming killed you a lot in the game,
Yeah.
I feel like. Not as much as the enemies for me, but it was trying to keep up.
Yeah, it's down to like you have to be precise when you make a running jump.
Yeah.
Or else you just
I mean, or else
I'm like the drop wouldn't have killed me, but now I'm outside of where they wanted me to be.
God,
so
I
it's
kind of love that
death.
thing.
Well, you heard it enough.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
burned into my memory. As soon as I like start fading from life, I'll just go.
I feel like
You got like
I feel
Stockholm
like
syndrome now.
Yeah.
Like at first you hated it, but now you love it because you experienced
the
it so
climbing
Exactly.
was okay in certain areas, but other areas it just felt like it ruined with the pacing.
Yeah, it like slowed it down.
The puzzles weren't very hard. They weren't too bad. I mean, to be expected in this type of game.
Yeah.
Overall, let me see what else am I thinking missing about gameplay. Good variety of weapons to try out. You have your pirate weapons you can grab at the beginning of the game and then replace them later with actual nice weapons later. Yeah, so I would give gameplay probably an 8 out of 10.
All right, that's what I'm going to give it to. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed watching the guide and getting all the treasures. Like I like how there's just a lot of little stuff, little areas to explore.
Guides.
Yeah. I enjoyed the shooting mechanics. I thought it was pretty good. I liked picking up the super OP weapons and then just going back to those comfort classics, you know, the pistols and shit like that. Like I liked picking up the big boys and dropping a few dudes with it. I felt like the combat was pretty solid. I liked the hand-to-hand stuff, but I didn't really get into it until the very end, just because I take so much damage on that difficulty that it's almost not worth it most of the time to use it. But I liked that it was there, and I wish the sneak mechanic was better, and that's why I'm taking off some points. So I know the game's not really about that, but I feel like adding that only increases the quality of the overall game. But I mean, that's not really Drake's deal, you know. It makes a lot more sense in The Last of Us, and I can't expect this game to be as refined as that game. But I kind of was hoping it was a little closer to it. But overall, I think it's a pretty fun game to play. So, design and graphics. I liked the design of the game. I liked the different areas.
Is this going to go down to us reviewing the remastered version, or is this going to...
I mean, we can kind of tell where it came from, and it's from 2009, so I don't think there's any problem with the way the game looks for when it came out.
No?
Even in the OG stuff, because that's kind of... It's not super early, but it's not late PS3 either.
Right.
I think they did a pretty good job with the environments, and they did a good job touching it up in the remaster, too. I thought they did a pretty solid job.
It looks vastly different. Like, not like... The graphics and textures do have a ton more detail to them.
Yeah. The facial animations are pretty good. I like how, like, it's funny because it's just like almost all old games where, like, a couple of people have really good facial animations, then everyone else is, like, shitty. So you know who the important people are, you know, because they look a little bit better. And that's something we kind of, like, a lot of games now, everyone just looks really good. But the olden days... You only had the budget for a couple good-looking character models. I don't know. I like the way they set up the levels. I mean, I enjoy the change in atmosphere and the change in like design. You know, you go from the really luscious island to the grottos, the caves, and then you go down into the U-boats.
I feel like certain areas with the platforming were better than others. My favorite platforming area was in the rafters of the church.
Yeah.
That was good.
That one was cool. I died a few times there too, but I don't know. I kind of liked that one. And yeah, it's just a lot of different designs. The town design was really good.
Yeah.
The church was really cool. I don't know. I just kind of liked the way it looked. When I saw the candles at the end, I just remembered like dunking my head in the wax in fucking Dark Souls 3. Yeah. And not getting the stupid curse that happens in that area. But I don't know. I overall, I do think it looks pretty good, and I like the way it looks. In addition to that, I like the variety.
Yeah. The design felt good. The levels felt perfect for the game. I'd probably give design. Probably gonna give it a 9.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. It's pretty solid. I mean. And even, like, I don't know, some remasters are really lazy, but I feel like they do a pretty good job of remastering. Like, this one and Last of Us Remastered, they both they definitely upped the ante for it.
Yeah, they changed some gameplay mechanics too, just so that it would fit better for the PS4. Like for instance, I know that in Uncharted 2, you'd had to use the 6-axis controller.
Oh yeah,
you know,
and that's not a
for the-
thing.
for
Yeah,
tilting, like while you're walking across like a board.
No, that didn't happen this one.
Yeah, because they fixed it. Because like you can't really do that with the PS4 controller.
yeah. So they put some work into it, and that sounds basic, but some companies don't do that. They just put it in.
And then
And
do
you're
like
just
a
fucked.
graphic upgrade, and then they release it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like clunky and not great, but I appreciate it. Soundtrack, voice acting, like anything to do with sound and music. As far as I can tell, the only sound they have in this game is that. But, what did you think of the rest of the soundtrack, other than the of course 20 out of 10 death sound effect?
Didn't really stand out too much.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's one of those games where, like, it's cool to have a game with a really good soundtrack, but this game isn't really that game, you know? Like, this isn't a Doom where it's like, it's all part of, it's like one package and it's a big throbbing cock and you just fucking, yes, it's just amazing, you know? It's a little slower and it has different pacing.
Are we just gonna let them
Big
gloss over
amazing
that?
cock, yeah. It's just a big old cock, and it's so amazing, juicy. You just want to fucking slurp it up, you know. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. It's nothing wrong with it. It's not gay.
No, nothing wrong with it. Not at all.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. This game, it has more kind of atmospheric back of the backstage music, which is most games.
The sound design for the weapons were unique, and you got a good feel of every weapon, you know. From the way they fire, the way they sound.
And you kind of knew what people were coming at you with, so it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to have ammo for this, I'll have ammo for that, if I can kill these fucks. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, voice acting wasn't bad. It might have been a little cheesy with Eddie, but I think that was the point.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the comic relief character. I don't know. I think the sound design is pretty good. I played it with headphones. Honestly, headphones is like the only way to play games.
Yeah.
Your TV sounds like shit. Just admit it. Like, unless you have like a subwoofer, and then even then, most of the time, it's just like, oh, how BC can we make this sound? And it's not always that great.
No, that's not what you want to go for. You want to go for more even, natural sound.
Yeah, and it sounded pretty good.
Yeah,
like they did a good job on the sound.
Yeah, I'd give it a 9.
All right, I agree with the 9. I like the voice acting a lot. I think it added a lot to the characters. I enjoyed the sounds, like, and it kind of got a little bit creepy near the end, and they did a pretty good job of making it a little unnerving when you're in the U-boat and stuff. And I feel like a lot of that is sound, and I've started to realize that more and more, especially with like the Resident Evil games, like, because they'll just have sounds that don't come from anywhere, and it's just meant to make you uneasy. And it kind of did a little bit of that in here, and I'm like, wow, I'm kind of like, you know, the heartbeats is this kind of picking up a little in this game, and it's not because I'm fucking pissed. It's the first time this has happened, and like, it's kind of a nice change of pace, because the game changes its pace all the time, and that was one of the more appreciated change of paces. Because like, other than that, it's, well, now instead of hearing that simply from like getting blasted by all sorts of dudes, you're gonna like get to the top of this pain in the ass spiral where you've killed like 12 mutants and 12 dudes, and you're gonna take that final leap of faith to stop the bad guy from taking the treasure away. And then you're gonna do it 10 more times until you can actually finish the fucking mission. God,
Well, it's a good thing you love that sound.
yeah, it's a good thing. Oh man, I was gonna do this. I talked about it on the stream. I was gonna do the pre-roll as this time on Nude Clan.
We can always change it.
Yeah,
I
If we
mean,
wanted to.
I'm too lazy.
that's
to do
only
that.
descriptive of your experience. I mean, I heard that sound a few times, but
Yeah, I feel like playing games on the hardest difficulty, and Craig and I disagree on this. I feel like that's kind of the purest way to play.
no.
No,
Because
it's
then
not.
you really
It's
know
not.
how the game is, right? You know,
No.
like, Is it harder because
Now we need to talk about how game difficulties are changed and what's a good change in difficulty and what's a bad change in difficulty. Because a lot of times it's difficult to make a game seem more difficult without making it unfair. And the way the game was intended to be played was on, the difficulty that they want you to play it on.
That's
It's
why
normal.
it's called normal. It's because it's not anything extra.
That's how the game was
not
built,
anything less.
and that's how the game was, designed for the normal player to play on. And now you can play these other modes that they will include to unlock other things and stuff like that for the people who really enjoy
Difficulty
the game.
levels are for the challenge, not because that's the purest
But
form
see,
of
here's
game.
the difference, though. Like, for me, two games that stand out, Call of Duty Classic, very hard, but not totally unfair, right? It's
on,
just they're.
on normal, it's not completely unfair.
I would say it's not unfair on veteran as well. It's very difficult.
It's very unfair.
But
in
if you
veteran.
played Medal of Honor Frontline on hard and you saw a man with his car 98 about a block and a half away, lifted up above a crate, above his head, not even looking, pull the trigger and get shot by that, you would have a different view of Call of Duty Classic, because that
Schweiss.
is not fair.
Call of Duty Classic, I poked my gun out around a corner and several dudes, and including a dude on a mounted fucking tank, immediately were shooting at me before I even popped out behind the corner. So yeah, it's a little bit unfair.
But there's a difference there. There is really
There's
fast
an
reaction
accuracy
time.
increase for like all the enemies,
and
and
there's
your
not-
health is a lot lower, and there's less health.
And there's
packs,
no look skill
which
shots.
makes that veteran fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and the worst part about COD Classic is like you didn't even get.
Well, yeah, you didn't get that, and then you also didn't get the trophies for hardened. So
But
you
luckily-
have to play it on a lower difficulty again.
Luckily, it loads in half a second flat, so you can get your ass right back out there to die again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me believes that, and then part of me knows that it's not true, like Cameron's saying. Because then they're just like, well, let's just put a harder stuff in, and then they just tinker with the code a little.
Yeah.
Like, let's make them real cunty, and then release the game. Like,
That's why games like Dark Souls and that type of game don't have a difficulty selector.
yeah.
There's just the one difficulty to play the game, and that's the difficulty it was intended to be.
And see, I feel like Last of Us did a pretty good job of making the harder difficulties because you have less resources, things cost more,
Now, if we want,
and you take more damage.
It adds more of a survivorist
I was going
element.
to say,
Yeah.
my
And that makes
favorite,
it great.
my favorite difficulty change to a game like that, especially the Fallout series, is the survival difficulty. That is
Yeah,
a
because you
lot
have
of
to
fun.
sleep.
Did you
and
ever
have
play
to, like,
Skyrim with the survival thing?
No, I didn't.
Because it's ridiculous. Like your
Because-
clothing has warmth
Yeah,
levels
yeah.
because you're in the fucking mountains and it's
Yeah.
freezing everywhere. So you have to have.
I mean,
you have to, like, manage
Conan
your
does that
heat.
too.
Yeah.
Except in Conan, you have to find the beasts to actually, make the clothing out of.
Well, yeah,
and
I mean-
oftentimes they're in the area that you need the clothing for.
And I mean, clearly Conan is superior to Skyrim, so
Oh yeah, very, very superior.
that's a 10
No,
out of 10.
but,
That was the second perfect game if we
But
have to review.
when you're playing a game like Fallout, where you have all these different weapon choices and stuff like that, you often find you have tons of weapons on you all the time, all this ammo and stuff like that is blow through the game. But then now in your
Playing
survival
on survival,
difficulty,
you can't
you have
carry
to
nearly
eat,
as much.
You have to eat. You have to drink
drink.
water, and then you can
You have to
probably
manage your
bring only like
radiation a lot more.
2 different weapons with you, depending on the situation, how heavy the ammo itself is.
Yeah.
And so it really opens up the game into like different play styles you'll invest more in just because it means more. And I like that a lot.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't
And
just
I like
throw skill
being,
points into like whatever because it doesn't really
I like
matter.
being at my base camp and then going, what do I want to roll out with today? And then go through all my weapons, like, I haven't had this one in a while. And you just pull that out, pull the ammo out for it, and then, man, it's nice. And then when it comes to damage, they don't really increase the damage against you. They just decrease the amount of damage that you can take, but at the same time they decrease the amount of damage that your enemies can take. And so you're still on a level playing field, but you have to be more precise with what you do, or else you're going to die. You just can't run into a group of raiders like you could before. But
Yeah.
and then it also gives a lot more value to having a power suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This game didn't do it that great. But,
No, of course it didn't.
Well, it's because it's a standard shooter difficulty change. Like, you'd have less health, enemies have more health. You have less ammo, enemies like fucking are more accurate. Of course, it's going to be like that. That's what every fucking shooter does. There's
fair.
no change in shooter difficulties other than exactly that.
And I hated how fucking scripted that boss fight was. I hate scripted boss fights, guys. I just don't like it. Because if you like varied any little bit, even if the guy was not physically aiming at you, it is if you don't do what they script you to do, you will die.
Dude, there's so many scripted boss fights.
I hated that so much. No, but this one it's like so open and apparent. Like if you're dodging around and he's not even fucking looking at you and he pulls the trigger, you die.
Yeah, he will. Yeah,
yeah, and it's just like you have to do it exactly the way that they want you to do it in exactly the right way, or else you're fucking dead. One time though, I pissed off the AI running the boss for some. He shot the thing twice, and he was doing the laughing thing where he was going to shoot me again, but I jumped up on top of the crate and started dancing back and forth, and that fucking pissed him off because he didn't just shoot me once. He did the whole thing where he brought up the shotgun and just went boom, just blasted me as many times as he could, just bow, 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 bow. I went and I tried to hide behind cover again to see if I could go back like the way it was before. No, he wasn't having it. He was fucking done. He's like, fucking follow the script, you fucking scrub. And he just fucking blasted me to nothing. Just bow, 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 bow. Yeah, he if you leave script too often, then the fucking AI is just fucking done. It's gonna just
They're professionals, man. You're supposed to follow the script.
I wish I captured that because it was just so abrupt that he hated it. He hated me dancing at the top of the crate. Because that was the one I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck am I supposed to do, because it's just like you have to learn a shooting pattern and then know that if you stay behind a crate for too long, because I just try to rush him at the beginning. No, you have to go to crate to crate to crate, and then you could get to him.
Yeah, if you rush him in the beginning, I mean,
yeah, I heard that sound a few times during that fight, just because it's so scripted that you have to do it exactly their way, and if you don't, you hear that sound.
Yeah.
And I hated that. It's just like it did not make me feel like I participated in that boss fight.
Yeah,
that wasn't my fight against the final boss.
You were just
of the game.
A viewer, in this experience.
I was just supposed to do the quick time event in the right way.
Yeah, I can tell you right now that 2 doesn't do that.
Okay, good. Because I heard 2's
boss
better.
Fight is fucking awesome.
Okay, that's good. Because this first Uncharted, that is not how you do a boss fight.
I think that you will absolutely love the second Uncharted.
Not good.
It's one of my favorite games. It's so fucking good.
So
it improves on like fucking everything.
Yeah. Most people don't like the first one that much. I obviously we think it's a pretty decent game.
Honestly, we'll total up because a game can have good elements inside the game, and whatever we rate it, that's good.
Did you guys look at the unlockables?
But honestly,
at all?
I feel like this was an extremely average game. Is how I feel about it.
All right. Well, what do you think about the replayability? Speaking of unlockables,
Did you look at any of the unlockables? There's like other skins that you can play as.
Oh,
like you can
really?
play as like Donut Drake, or it's like super fat Drake, which is awesome.
It kept telling me that I unlocked shit, but I never went and looked at it.
Yeah, and there's also stuff like the mirror levels where you can like play the games, but they're like switched up so that it feels new. And then you can also like get infinite ammo. Like they have like little cheats that you can just use, so you can have infinite ammo for like any weapon. You can pull any weapon you want, like out at any time. Just like random shit like that. It's fucking awesome.
Cool. I guess it does add some replay value.
Yeah. I like playing as Donut Drake.
Of course you do.
You can also play as...
Can you imagine Donut Drake or, someone like Craig doing the fucking platforming?
Hold on. I'll fucking pull up a picture of Donut Drake for you. But, you can...
Yeah, Naughty Dog does that shit a lot, too. Ever since Jack, they've made, like, all these crazy little bonuses.
There's collectibles
Fat
for me to
Jack
go
is really
find
fun.
still, different things that I guess I've unlocked and to go experience. So I'll probably give replayability like...
That's Donut Drake.
Oh Oh man,
Yeah,
he's real fat.
Yeah, I need to see that fucking shit again.
I thought he'd be a little chubby, but man, he's a big boy.
yeah, it's fucking awesome. doing any of the running platforming shit with Donut Drake is the most amazing thing.
Does
ever.
it change it for the cutscenes too?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, fucking yes.
He's like a size
Well,
60
wait,
pant.
maybe not.
Yeah, he's
I
a
can't
big man.
I honestly can't remember if it does for the.
Oh man,
cutscenes,
that grin too on that face. Oh man.
but you can also play as like Sully or Elena or any of the other characters and stuff.
That's cool.
With the skins.
that.
See, what would have made this a better game is
If he was fat like that,
Yeah. Honestly, no, but I kind of like it being able to play other characters. Like, what was Elena doing in her parts? What was Sully doing in his parts?
Yeah, we could have
If
played
we could have
them, yeah.
experienced those portions of the game, I feel like it would have been a lot better.
yeah, and it's a really short game, so it's
yeah,
not like you
yeah,
couldn't
it's
have.
yeah. So I probably give replayability now. It's going to be much higher than it was before because now I know about that.
Know about that Donut Drake?
Probably a 7 for replayability. Yeah,
Donut Drake life.
I'm gonna find that fucking Donut Drake because
Nice.
then I want to see the romance scene between him and Elena at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
As Donut Drake.
I honestly can't remember if it does it in the cutscenes.
I bet it
but
does, because
if it does, that would be
The
extra
Jack
amazing.
games always did. Because I remember I got like one that was like a diaper for this big fat guy. I can't remember what his name is. He's like the garage guy. And like I would go into the cutscene and he'd be wearing this diaper instead of his normal outfit. I'd like give him a really big head and he's got a diaper on. It's like, yes, this is what gaming is spending ridiculous currency, ridiculous amounts of in-game currency on stupid fucking mods.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that shit with Uncharted too, because like there's like what are they called? There's like things that will like you could do it, play the game in, like sepia tone, or like they'll do like a film grain.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like you can just like add
Nah.
filters to the thing if you want to.
Instagram it, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually turn that shit off if it's included in the game.
You know, I think I'm going to give replayability a 7 as well. The story is kind of stock. Replaying it for the collectibles is fine. Replaying it for the trophies, I did a bit of that. But honestly, this is one of those games that's kind of one and done. I mean, I feel like I didn't get the platinum partly because I wanted to move on to other stuff, and I feel like that's where I'm going to ding replayability just a touch. I enjoyed my experience with it, though. Overall thoughts, I think it's a pretty decent game. I'm excited to see where the series goes after this, of course. But I think this is a pretty good start. And if this is one of the less good ones in the series, it's like bottom tier, it's going to be a pretty good series.
A lot of people think it's the worst one.
And that's a pretty good thing, because I think it's fine. I had a lot of fun with it. I wish there was like a multiplayer kind of thing in it. That would be kind of cool.
2 and 3 and 4 all have multiplayer.
Like a co-op. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I don't think there's co-op. They do have like a multiplayer.
Yeah, combat versus mode kind
I
of
played
thing.
it a little bit in 3. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I enjoyed my experience. I think it's worth a playthrough. I think the collection is kind of the way to go because you get all three games on one disc.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do the Uncharted games and you haven't done them yet, much like Cameron and I, that's kind of the way to do it. So
Yeah.
What do you think, Cameron? Final thoughts?
I don't know. I'm glad I played this game, especially since this will now open the rest of the series for me to play and enjoy, because I've heard good things about it. It wasn't a bad game, and it didn't take very long to play it. So if you are interested in, another take on the same type of idea as, Tomb Raider and, finding the lost treasure, then yeah, go ahead and give this one a try.
All right, perfect. It kind of reminded me. It made me want to play the last Prince of Persia game that I haven't played too, with the platforming. I was like,
Which one?
It's a self-titled, cel-shaded one. I never beat that one.
Oh, yeah. I always wanted to play that one.
I finally got it to work on my computer, and then I just didn't play it because you have to fuck with the settings a ton to get it to work.
Why?
I don't know why. It's like the compatibility is weird with it. But I finally got it running, and then I was like, I don't want to play it right now. But that's the only one of those that I haven't finished. And this kind of reminded me of that.
Well,
but
I was looking at my games on the PS3 yesterday, and I have like a shitload of Prince of Persia games on
Yeah.
there, and I was like, what the... I didn't know I had these.
Yeah, you bought a big pack, I think, of the PS2
I
ones.
must have, yeah, because it's got like the Two Thrones and like all the other ones.
Yeah, Two Thrones, Warrior Within, and Sands of Time.
I had like, and the OG one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sands of Time, right? Or do
No,
they
no,
have the
like
OG?
The OG.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Those ones are fucking bastardly, probably. I haven't played the originals.
I thought you did play the original ones. I thought that's where you started when you started.
No,
playing
I
through
started
them.
with Sands of Time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
PS2. Anyway, decent game. Got some fun stuff. I think it's worth a playthrough. And then you open up the series, like Cameron said, and then you can play all of them. And the Uncharted collection is not very expensive. It's like usually like $20 maybe.
Yeah.
So 3 games, $20. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and it makes it really easy to gather trophies, especially like the weapons one, because like you can start pulling out whatever weapon you want to get the kills with.
Yeah, and you can checkpoint select at the end too. So
Yeah, so you can just go to wherever
Chapter
you
select,
want
yeah.
to go to the one with the most enemies, spawn your weapon, and then just beat the shit out of everybody.
yeah, so it's a pretty good time. To recap the scores. Story, Cameron gave it a 7, I gave it an 8. Gameplay, 8s across the board. Design and graphics, 9s across the board. Soundtrack, 9s across the board. Replayability, 7s across the board. A total of 40 out of 50 for Cameron and 41 out of 50 for myself, for a total of 81 out of 100. Metacritic has it as an 88. So I think time has
Maybe the trope wasn't as tired back then that it is now.
yeah, in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe not.
I feel like that's like right in the heyday, though, of that type of thing.
Yeah, so we might have been tired of it then too.
Mm.
It's like a superhero game coming out, and you're like, really?
Donut Sully.
You know, it's not too far off of Sully, but you know, it's just enough that it's pretty funny because the no chin thing.
Yeah, and Donut Drake is still just so amazing.
Donut Drake is just
Donut Drake is like another.
that pose he was into was just so comedic.
It's like another 100. It's like double Drake.
Yeah, double Drake,
Yeah,
Donut Dragon.
yeah. So there you go, guys. Pick up Uncharted, play it. It's pretty fun. If you have a PS4 or PS3 and you haven't played these games, you kind of owe it to yourself. It's a big staple with the PlayStation console. So pick it up and enjoy. I kind of feel like we should play the other ones too. I mean, A for Extreme generously gave us this collection.
Yeah.
Maybe we should play all 3.
I mean, I think we should. I'm excited to enjoy the other 2 in the series. So,
You could
You
play them.
mean the other 5.
well, the disc I have only has the 3 games, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
4 we'd have to get from someone else.
Until A4 gives us the rest of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. See what you done, A4?
Yeah.
Pay up.
Pay your dues. So yeah, we'll get into the Hog League. So keep an eye out on that. I'm going to add those guys to the Twitter chat, and then we will get the draft going. So guys, start catching up on your Hog. I know you two haven't done Hog for a little while. Catch up on that so that you can appear more appealing to the masses when the draft takes place. Get it all out of the way now so that we don't have to worry about point restrictions later. And yeah, go enjoy the new Tool album. It's good. You got to listen to it multiple times.
I was listening to some of it on the way.
The first time I listened to it, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, there's no Vicarious, there's no like this and that and the other. And then I realized, like, it's really just the ultimate form of Tool. Like, they've kind of moved beyond having any sort of like pop song, you know? There's no pop at all in there. It's like they've just been slowly harnessing themselves, and now they are just what they are. And it's like they when they were coming up with the album, one of the ideas was just have one song as the whole album, which of course would have irritated the shit out of me, but. Because, like, I'm like, oh, I want to get to that part, and then I got to, like, fucking, like, tap the screen until I find the one part where it, like, gets crazy, and then enjoy that. But listen to it a few times, guys. I know some people are kind of, like, iffy on it, but the more you listen to it, the more you get out of it, I feel. And I can't really say that about every album. Like, the Godsmack one from last year, I can't say that because it's not true. Yeah, or is it this year? It might be this. God damn it! It might have been this year. Fucking
I don't
Legends
know.
Rise.
I think part of what's playing against Tool at this point is that it's been so long since their last album. I think it's now that they were going to drop an album that it was overhyped, and so people were expecting for something mind blowing coming from Tool, because Tool is always such a great band and their style of music is so unique just to them that they're expecting something, something sort of new from them, but something amazing. And what they gave is probably just a decent Tool album, and then it didn't have the highs that they were expecting to have.
I don't know, man. I think it might be their best at the end. I really do. But it takes a little while to get into. And it doesn't have those big songs. It doesn't have the Stink Fist, the Schism, the Vicarious, the Pot. It doesn't have that, but it has, I don't know. It's just it's different, but it's really good. And I feel like people, like you said, they might have just been expecting the singles that Tool has done before, which they've slowly been moving away from. If you watch the chronology of Tool, you got the first one with Undertow, which is kind of painful to listen to. It's got Sober, which is a really good song, and then they do Anima, not Enema. They do an Enema, and then they release Anima, and it's pretty poppy. There's a lot of really catchy songs and stuff like that. And then Lateralis, they go anal retentive with the math and the beats and stuff. And then 10,000 Days, they go anal retentive and then stoner. And now it's just stoner almost. But it's I don't know. I say listen to it a couple times, and I had Joe do that because at first he was I don't know. And that's how I felt too. I was I don't know how I feel about this. There's some really cool stuff in there, but I don't know. I was expecting this, and then Joe and I were talking about it, and he's yeah, they just don't really do pop anymore. And I was that's exactly what it is, because at the end I was there's no Vicarious song, there's no song that's come in your pants right away. That song is fucking amazing when it came out. I was oh my god. But it's really good, but it's in a different kind of way.
So you're saying this one's more like a slow stroke that builds you up to even better orgasm?
It might be, yeah. And I think you need to listen to it multiple times to achieve that orgasm. So just squeeze the tip and let the cum go back in. Of course, you're still kind of orgasming. You're just not ejaculating at that point.
You got to stop doing that, man. It's not natural.
It's gonna start coming out of my eyes or something.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop doing that shit. I know. Just
just let it fly. Yeah. So yeah, listen to that, and like I said, just listen to it a few times, and I think you'll like it a lot the second time, because I've liked it more each time. I've listened to it, I think 3.5-ish times now. Really long fucking songs at 11, 12 minutes.
Yeah. Then I guess that's kind of a Tool thing to do. It has super long songs, like a progressive rock thing.
Yeah,
but it just feels like more of this album is that way.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
it is. It is. So I mean, it's just don't expect it. Don't go in expecting those big single songs, and I think you'll appreciate it more.
Okay.
It's weird. I don't know, but yeah. So go do that and hog it. So let's make that a good goal. Hog your Tool album.
Hog your Tool.
And they honestly, that's a fucking amazing marketing plan
Hog
they
your
did.
member.
Because they didn't really release very many physical copies. They're all gone. They called Best Buy and they had 3. They had 3 copies, and I was why would you only have 3 copies? This is going to be a big album this year. And they're yeah, we know. They didn't have any. So they made a limited release on the physical copies, so now they're really rare. And they also released all of their albums on Spotify and every other streaming service, so they're jerking themselves off like Tool. And then they come out with the album, and now they're yes, Tool.
So they've created a scarcity for this new album.
Yeah.
To really make having a copy.
And
of
it's
it something
funny
special.
because they were so anti-online music, and now it's that's kind of how you have to fucking buy the album.
But see, now they're making actually owning it physically.
A status symbol.
Status symbol.
And maybe they'll
who
release...
knows? Maybe they'll yank the online status after a little bit. Who knows? It might have just been a stunt to give everyone a taste of Tool, and now there's no more online.
Well,
Tool.
I'm fine. That would kind of suck because I buy the albums anyway.
Yeah.
Except for this last one, because I was
Can you buy it online? Can you buy it from
No,
You can't
it's
buy
sold
the
out.
album online.
It's like $100.
No, not like buy a physical copy, but buy
Oh
the
yeah, you
MP3.
can. Yeah. You can
well,
buy it. I feel like they're just because they used to hate that stuff. They would never stream. They would never do
Right.
that because they don't get as much money. And now I think they realize that that's kind of where the industry is. And so now they're like, "Fuck it, we'll just do a really low."
And because they did that, Mike, get back up here. And because they did that, meant when they released that one single that they released before the album, that was like on the top.
Downloads.
No, just like on the Billboard top 50 or something like that. And like it stayed up there for a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah, and it's like an 11-minute song, so that's pretty impressive. It's a good song. I like that one. But yeah, I think they did a really good marketing job. So every other marketing team, just like pay attention to that and do that. Because that's what you do. You fucking throw all your shit online right before the new one comes out, and then you make the new one really rare to get a hold of.
It's ridiculous the amount of listens that Tool already has, and they've only been on Spotify for
It's like maybe a
month and a
month.
half
Yeah.
now, and all of their big songs, all of their big stuff already have millions of
And
listens.
that's all I've been, dude. That's kind of all I've been listening to lately too. I'm like, let's just go through 10,000 Days a few times. Like,
They must have signed a really good deal with these online streaming platforms.
probably
It probably is a lot better of a deal than
than it used to be.
than other artists would get, because other artists, they just want to get their stuff to a place their fans can listen to it.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do whatever the normal deal is with Spotify. Now with Tool, a lot of people have made a conscious decision not to get these streaming platforms because they wouldn't be able to complete their playlist because Tool isn't on there. And so a lot of people were holding out on. I don't know how many a lot of people is. It's just a thing that I've seen people didn't want to get on streaming platforms because
They
why would
don't get any money. Yeah.
and they'd just rather just buy the normal songs and whatnot. But
Yeah.
then Tool probably is to sweeten the deal and to get a lot of people to actually start to sign up for the platform like Spotify. They probably had even a better deal just because they're going to bring a lot of listeners to their platform.
Yeah, I think they probably got a good.
So they might have gotten a better deal than what is average for other bands. To
Yeah,
get.
and I feel like they probably realize they've sold enough albums at this point, like to not really worry about it. And there's going to be people that are going to buy it no matter what,
Right.
And then there are going to be people that are going to buy it online or steal it. And it's like, well, just make it easier to pay for it, and people will do it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unfortunate because I like the physical CDs. But...
Pull up eBay real fast, see if it's been resold on eBay already.
Oh, it is.
What is it going for?
So Fear Inoculum Physical, first thing. Oh, there's $49.99 on. Oh, it's a pre-order.
$49.99.
It's a pre-order. CD Deluxe Edition, $125, $130.
Oh, so they did a small initial release, and now they're going to come out with a deluxe edition right afterwards.
The Deluxe Edition was the first release.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can
It
you
has
still
like
buy
a-
physical copies then?
It has like a monitor that it came with, like a little screen that you plug in to a USB device.
What?
Yeah, it's like really weird.
Well, that's right up Tool's alley, though, because remember the cover art on, what's the album? They gave you, like, lenses to look through, too.
Yeah, it was 10,000 Days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do all this crazy shit. Yeah, it's not really a thing to buy. It's fucking annoying.
You can't buy it?
No, I mean you can, but it's like so I'll go to Rough Trade. All remaining stock available in store only. So I can't even buy it online here, and it's not going to be in store because no one had any copies of it. Like they sold out in like 45 minutes at this.
Check eBay real fast.
All right.
I'm sure they'll release it later again.
Yeah, depending on what demand is, but
$249.
on eBay?
Yeah. Yeah. Not cheap.
Shit, man.
169. 2 available, 6 sold in 24 hours. There's just not very many copies of this thing that they made. And
How much did it come out at for the physical copy?
I think it was 40, which is a lot for a CD, but
Yeah, that is quite a bit.
it came with a lot more than most CDs, though, too. So, yeah, fucking hell, man. I need to get it because I want to have all of their albums. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just buy it digitally. Just kind of support them while
Yeah, I'm just
it.
trying to think. They did a limited CD release, and they're not very many copies, but $40 a pop. They're probably making up a lot more than they would have if they did a general release to CD.
Yeah, they could be.
Especially with deals they might have cut with major streaming platforms.
Yeah, and people are going to be like scour to get it. So like they're gone. They're
So-
sold. They're out.
They probably did pretty good with this release.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed. It's a really good idea, and I think it's a pretty good album. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thanks for this Tool talk. Caleb, go listen to it. It's good. Let's do it a couple times. Second time on LSD.
On
enjoy it a lot.
LSD, you got some LSD I can borrow?
Yeah, I got it at work. It's in my locker.
Okay.
Wait, is it better to listen to Tool high on LSD, shrooms, or weed?
Probably shrooms,
I'm thinking shrooms.
especially 10,000 Days.
All right, somebody take all three separately, listen to the album,
I wish they
and,
would have taken 10,000
and write
Days
down your thoughts.
to release the next one, but they would have been like 70. So
Yeah.
I feel like they should have called it like 6,000 Days. They could have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's been like 4,000 or something. I looked it up the other day, and I was like, that's disappointing. And then I thought about it. I was like, no, 10,000 Days is a really, really fucking long time.
It is.
I just
a
barely
long time.
Like, I think Cameron might be. You're just a little more than 10,000 Days old. Like, it's fucking long. That's a long fucking time to wait. Missed opportunity, but whatever. Whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure to hang out next week. I think we're gonna. Yeah, we can't do After Dark. No, we'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow. Never mind. Don't worry about that. We're going to start doing some streaming, so look out for those notifications. We're going to start bugging you guys on Twitter and Discord and PlayStation Chat to let you know when we're streaming so that we can get you guys on there to hang out with us. Support us there. Support us on Patreon. Support us through PayPal. Order your shit through our Amazon link on our site. audibletrial.com/NudeClan is our site, of course. And, yeah, get your shit hogged. And we'll see you guys next week.
Enjoy the nude.
Time to get good.
Live always in the nude.
No!